some Jews, but we know Israel, the fact that there's 20% Arab Israelis with full rights more than anywhere in the Middle East, and there's still a problem, it's your problem. When you guys can get, the Arab lands around you to have better leadership, they won't have this problem. They want to come to Israel because they see that Israel is a land where people are free to live and have freedom of speech. Where they're in the Arab lands, there is not freedom of speech.
Not even the Jews have freedom of speech. They have more freedom of speech of us.
So
And if we already talk about apartheid, Jews in Arab countries were never been lawyers or in the Supreme Court or even parliament members. But in Israel, no, they literally there is a party from the Muslim Brotherhood. It's literally a terrorist organization, and they able to say what they literally say. We will destroy you if you will touch Al-Aqsa. They literally call us the occupiers, and they celebrate when soldiers die. They celebrate when soldiers die,
so
and no one do.
I'm not worried about. If you bring up morality to Jews, you're kidding yourself. We're one of the most moral nations, if not too moral. The fact after, like I said, that they tried to genocide us with 5 Arab armies and they lost. It's ridiculous that they would have never left Jews. They would. Excuse me, I'm talking. No, you clearly haven't, Sultan. And even if you have, you'd never understand it. Anyway, it wasn't meant for you either.
Mike,
anyway,
I want to
it's not about when you bring up morality, Mike. It's a joke because you don't come from morality. You don't know morality. Don't use our morality as a weapon against us.
So, Mike,
well,
I want to
this
say
is getting
something
too
really
personal, so I'm going to leave.
Mike, you make it
because I don't like personal attacks.
All right, Mike, I won't be personal, but attack what you actually said. So you're saying how it
What?
was Israel's policy during the 48 war to kick all the Arabs out. So if that was the case, today Israel's 20% Arab. The reason why that's not the exactly. So if it was a policy back then to kick all of them out, Israel would be close to 0% Arab today. So why is it that 20% of Israel is Arab today and not 0? Because it wasn't a policy back then. Certain Israeli generals, depending on where they were stationed in the country, decided to do that depending on how non-cooperative the Arab village was at the time. And then also it turned up the heat when there was actual war declared. When you declare war, you need to secure your boundaries and secure your areas and make sure that you're safe. Okay? So at the time, Israel, I think maybe 50% of the Arab villages were either asked to leave or there was a fight or for whatever reason they left. But Israel today is 20% Arab because of the policy that it was not the policy to kick them out. That is a fact. Those are numbers. Those are statistics. So you are wrong that it was a policy for Israel, for the IDF at the time, to kick out every Arab citizen or every Palestinian Arab.
Was there no policy ever of clearing any villages?
No, there
It was not.
Policy. It wasn't a policy.
If it was a policy, is to kick out Jewish houses in Gaza or in Judea and Samaria. If there is a policy,
that wasn't the question.
I want to stab.
Yeah, but that's part of the answer.
But that's factually wrong because there's documents.
You're wrong because there's never been
documented
by the IDF or the Haganah at the time to do that. There's been no Israeli general from that time ever tried for not kicking people out. The fact of the matter is there were some villages that were cooperative and peaceful, some were not. And then when the war was declared, they needed to make sure that they were securing their safety and their boundaries. So sometimes that happens in a war where you have to take over a village, where you have to take over a road, or you have to take over any sort of way in which to keep the enemy from coming to you. That's what happens.
Suck.
Wars sucks. It's bloody.
After the war,
20%, 50% of the after the war, 50% of the Arab population stayed, which is why Israel's 20% Arab today. Did you hear that? After the war, 50% of the Arabs were in the country still, which is why Israel's 20% Arab today.
War had ended.
Well, what about the Geneva Convention?
Actually, the war was good. The war was good because look today.
Yeah,
without the war, we will not have Jerusalem.
Right now,
without the war, we will never get Gaza.
With rocks.
But Mike, did I show that you were incorrect? You're going to say I was wrong because you always do this? Because you're a troll. But that's very clear by the numbers in the population today that you are wrong.
I'm out of here because you just want to insult people who disagree.
We just like insulting you because you're wrong and because you come here and poke us all the time.
First of all, Mike, what do you know about Israel? I'm asking you. Wait a second. Let's ask him because I don't think he's been in Israel once.
I'm not God.
Yeah. Where you get your info? Where you get your info? Where you get your info? You see that in your eyes, man?
Of learning about this stuff.
Internet, right? You use CNN and BBC.
Have you read?
Where I get? I'm live here. No, hell no. I'm live here.
Okay.
What do you mean? I'm live here. I see everything in my eyes. My grandfather saw that. My father.
Ethnocentricity is?
Sure.
No.
Have you heard of being ethnocentric?
I don't know what it means in English, but I know what it is.
The Jewish
It's not uncommon to have that.
In a room full of Jews, my friend.
Okay, but
Guys,
I mean,
you don't like the one
Jews are not immune from ethnocentricity.
And I
asked
Mike,
why are you bringing it up?
You're
when
going
was
to
the
deal
last
with
time
it.
you were in Israel? And Mike said 2000. So I love it that Mike was very honest with me to tell me that the last time he was in Israel was in 2000. He knows because he said it, that he knows what the people on the streets are saying. Right? That's what he said earlier.
At least in the year 2000.
I know this is what the people in the street are saying.
2 years ago.
I've read the Jerusalem Post and the Times of Israel basically every day, every year since then.
That's
I talked to a
awesome,
lot of people. But I don't live there.
You talk to a lot of people.
So if you read Jerusalem Post, it means you have a knowledge about Israel?
No,
What the fuck? You speak to an Arab once? You speak to, I don't know, you speak to a Jew?
What is
in face to face, you see what's happened and speak with them? You was in demonstrations?
What roads do you take? What buses do you take?
But, that is kind of a logical fallacy. You don't have to be a first-person witness to know something.
Yes, you do. You can't review something before you know it, right?
No, that's kind of anti-intellectual.
Really? Come on.
What do you mean?
I mean, if you know a fact, you know a fact.
I can't judge U.S. because I'm not from U.S. I'm not familiar with how the society work in U.S. Why? Michael. Because I'm not living in U.S. So how can I judge U.S. and blame them on something that I don't even know? I'm telling you, you don't know.
Because you're friends.
I can't. I'm hypocrite if I do it.
No, that's just kind of like anti-intellectual. Way to shut down.
Okay,
it's like an ad hominem attack.
Excellent question.
It's not actually logical.
Is it logical? Is it intellectual to criticize a culture's treatment of another people without ever observing that culture's treatment of that people? Is that insane? Is that absolutely ridiculous and absurd?
Where are there 20% Jews anywhere in the world, Mike?
Yeah, where is the real apartheid? Where is the Jews of Yemen, of Iraq, of Morocco? Where they are?
Around and genocide the Germans. I mean, it's just like to say that
what
the hell is he? Are you on acid?
We went home to
sick.
Israel.
You should go to the audience. You gotta listen.
Well, the fact is,
the Jews. Let's
have a nice day, bro. Have a nice day.
The Germans. This guy's nuts.
Mm-hmm. This guy should have a stage here.
Hallucinogenics can do shit like that to you. Just saying.
Literally claimed right now.
I want what he's
crazy.
He literally claimed it right now. That's fine. I don't think I think he's trolling. I think in trolling tried to make provocations. Right. I don't really think he support the terrorist organization of Palestine. I don't think he really knows something about that.
I agree.
Seriously.
I agree with you.
It's fucking retarded. Why should you need to be blind to support this organization? Like, seriously, how you can have mercy on the people of Gaza when in 2004 they literally in elections 70% of them vote to Hamas.
I know, Hamas.
Yeah, like seriously, who have mercy on those people? They have no mercy on the children that die in Israel from the rockets. 5 years old child died like say 8 months ago. Someone have mercy on him in the world? No. The international community say something? No. They are the most hypocrite ever exist. They're not even including Israel in their fucking council.
And because Mike was reading the Jerusalem Post, and I did too. I just want to read 3 lines.
You compared the Palestinians to the Jews in Germany. Shame on you, bro.
I want
Shame on you.
I want to read you a few lines from the Jerusalem Post today.
Oh, let's hear
just
from the Jerusalem Post.
Five lines. Just give me a sec. Palestinian Authority raises salary for terrorists who killed 9 at Hebrew University. So there were 9 people that were killed in July 31st, 2002. So 20 years ago, exactly. And since then, the 4 people who killed the Jews were awarded about $2.5 million each. Insofar, they're being paid 7,000 shekel a month, and it was to be raised because it's been already 20 years, so now they got a bump, and it's supposed to go to 8,000 shekel, and they receive a supplemental 300 shekel each month because they were residents of Jerusalem. So that's why that's our partner in peace, the Palestinian Authority, that's paying about 1.5 billion shekels. That's about $430 million dollars a year to people who commit terrorist acts, to people who kill Jews, to people who kill Israeli, and that's supposed to be our partner in peace. And if you want to know where it is, where I read that, it's in the Jerusalem Post, 1.5 billion shekel a year.
Insane.
That's in the Jerusalem Post. So maybe he ought to read the right pages when he speaks about the Post.
We're funding the war against us.
Correct.
That's such a
Manipulator,
Jewish story. That's like
manipulator.
Like Helm would think up. Helm was like, the war's ongoing, but they can't fight anymore. Well, we got to give them money to keep it going. Good. Now the war continues.
Listen, you guys, you see what I shared here? You see what I shared here? He's a Kuwaiti guy.
Ridiculous.
He's a Kuwaiti guy that speak on Kuwaiti news. He literally say there is no such a Palestine nation. You can see the video, guys. It's literally insane. Even the Arabs acknowledge that they just bring that the Palestinians just bring wars and blood, even to them. Who even want peace with them? They don't even have a peace with each other. Rega, Michael. Who even want peace with them? Seriously, they don't even have peace with each other. Let's say I will make peace with them. They will fight with the help of the world. They will bring the war to here. Why need these problems? Why should I need these problems? They don't have peace with each other. I will give them a peace. Not even in their authorities. Hamas and the PLO doesn't even have a peace. Seriously. What do they want from us? Be at peace with yourself after talk about Israel.
Right.
Seriously, so retarded. And sometimes I ask myself, how much people can be blinded? How much?
No, they want us to be blinded. Israel.
A lot, dude.
They know the truth. They just want us to be blinded.
Listen, you grew up in a Jewish state. You forget that Christianity took over the world with a bad copy of our book.
No, I'm not forgot. I'm not forgot at all. I'm not forgot. After they came with the Crusades and killed Jews, I'm not forgetting.
I think a lot of the world by stories from big people.
No, but I think, a lot of the Western world is quite woke and left, and they are always for the underdog. And they consider the Palestinians as an underdog.
Yeah.
And that's
You're
why,
right,
they
Menashe, that's the narrative. But you know what woke means? I want everyone to hear this. Woke means programmed. Programmed. It does not mean awake. It means woke means programmed. Programmed with a narrative that the media wants people to know. Yes.
Right.
Israel, I just back-channeled you the article I was quoting. So just, if you want sources, you can read them.
Thank you. Send me in the DM.
Yeah, and keep in mind that there's a lot of disinformation about the Middle East. There are a lot of lies out there, which support the narrative of the leftists. And that's a big problem. They don't give a shit about the truth. And,
well, when it comes to the left in Israel, there was an article in today's Jerusalem Post.
They're also dangerous.
But the fact that Meretz may not break the threshold. and may need to ally for an alliance.
Oh, Meretz, אחי, Meretz is not even... listen, Meretz is, they are crazy, אחי. We should kick them. We should kick them and the Arabs, אחי. We should kick them and the Palestinians. I'm not saying we just should kick them. I prefer 10,000 Arabs on one Jewish from Eretz, אחי. Seriously. From those traitors. They go to fucking soldiers and tell them, you're killing children. We hate you. You occupied us. Those soldiers are 18. What they know about their life? They just come and defend the country. They defend you. They defend me and you and you. They think that when terrorists come, they ask you, oh, you left wing or right wing? You vote to Meretz or Ben Gvir? No, it doesn't happen. You just stomp him. Just stomp you. That's what happened in Beersheba, in my city. Just come to a gas station and stomp a woman. I probably wasn't there.
Can you give me mod for 1 sec so I can just kick some people out?
Who people you want to kick?
People are being anti-Semitic in the chat.
Go ahead, I will give you.
Be fine.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I just want to say really quick that we already know who our enemies are, but there's a new enemy brewing. And here on Clubhouse, I've discovered it happens to be the African American.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
And I've listened to these groups for hours. And every time I'm in there, they say the wildest shit, as we've heard, but it's really profound. I'm telling you, you have to push back more.
Ban the Palestine revolt.
We don't care.
Ban the Palestine revolt, Yael, and Adam and
I
Lizzie.
kicked out Palestine, Shane, and Rodney. Is there anyone else?
No, but when you think about the mind, when you think about the minds that are most impregnable in the whole entire world, it is the Black American. They're looking for their way. They realize they can't go against the white supremacy of America. They're going to pick on the Jew. Every topic leads to the Jew as the problem. They wait. I watch and listen. They wait to the last minute and then it slips out of their lips. I'm just saying it's something to be aware of. That's all.
Okay, we don't have to continue to allow this.
Friend.
Yeah. I have no problem with Palestinian people that claim to be Palestinians to speak here, but don't be an anti-Semite.
I've spoken with Palestinians. They're nice people. Some of them.
I don't think they're nice people that much, but if they
guy that lived in Gaza that was an engineer, and he said that
they have internet in Gaza. Get in, Julian. I invite you.
This was like during the bombing. This was like shortly after the bombing, and he was like, "I don't like it, but like Hamas is the leader around here."
Yeah, but you can't cry on a war that they make. Like seriously, they use a human shield of their.
He didn't like that Hamas was making the war.
You know, before we drop a building that they have missiles on him, we literally, the Shabak literally called to the people living in the building to go out 1 hour before that.
I know what they do.
Yeah. So people here need to know.
Okay.
Because not many of them know. Because if it was upside down, I'm sure Hamas will not call to people living in Beersheba in my city before they shoot missiles.
They fire the rockets. They don't call
sure they not.
They don't say
they not even aim, you know.
I know they don't.
They just put it in the ground and they say, "Oh, that's Israel. Let's shoot." They don't even have an aim system.
It'll kill somebody. They're hoping. It's monstrous. It's terrible.
But hold on. I know somebody very close to me who did that, so I know it's very factual. Unfortunately, I can't prove it.
What factual?
Before the Shabak calls the people, the Ministry of Justice reviews the target and decide whether this target is allowed or not allowed. It's the
what do you mean?
Justice.
And if they hide in hospital, it's not my problem.
I know they look into all those things.
It's not my problem. I prefer they will die than Israelis die.
Every single time Israelis quote unquote attack Gaza, there's so much paperwork. There's a mountain of paperwork. There's like a book explaining all of the considerations and all of the preparations and all of the warnings that were given and all of the attempts to do it through some other means. And then them just refusing left and right. They have letters from Hamas going no, we're going to stay with our terrorist organization here. You can blow us up if you want. And then they, eventually after 6 months of this, they blow up a building.
Who is Risky? We'll ban him from the room. Risky. being anti-Semite here. Fuck this حيوان. Yeah, you're killing children, Israelis. You want me to show you Fogel family, what the Arabs did to them? We're killing children?
Post it.
They literally go out of the house, they hear a crying of a baby, and they come back and stab him. He was 3 months. And after they say we are animals. MashaAllah.
The whole family was sleeping in their beds. Shabbat.
I know, yeah. Fucking animals. And for what? For nothing. Literally for nothing.
Jews. Living in Judea.
They literally have no mercy. Like, seriously, even if I will see a terrorist, I will think 10 times before I shoot him.
I'd have more respect
for if he's a kid.
If they tried like a January 6th type overthrow of Knesset. If they like showed up at Knesset and were like, we're the state now. That I could get behind. At least then they're fighting their supposed enemy. Instead, they're just murdering children in the dead of night.
Yeah. It's funny. What is
what can you do?
It's true. Let's see. Jeffrey wanted to get in.
I just read a news article yesterday that in the first half of 2022 there were over 3,500 terrorist incidents. Not deaths, of course, but just attacks by terrorists in Israel. Think about that number.
And that's not including the missiles.
Yeah, no, that's just people like with knives and things. But the worst thing I read last week was the guy who's in jail that the PLO is doubling his, they give money to the families for when these guys go to jail. And they're doubling it. These are partners for peace. People who pay the terrorists when they're in jail for killing.
Yeah, they pay them. They pay them 4,000 shekel
every month.
Yeah, but they
doubled the payment for this one guy. I can't remember his name. He doesn't deserve merit.
Is Biden?
He has a very big family to support.
I don't know. It's just for some reason this guy.
Maybe he killed 2 Jews and not 1 Jew.
No, but I read this story that they doubled the payment for this one guy. I don't know.
Payment.
Literally, it was last week.
Wow.
And they want to.
Let me tell you a story, guys. Like, you remember last Ramadan, it was like many terror attacks. It was in Hadera, in my city, in Beersheba. So the guy that was in Beersheba and was my city, I literally see that in my eyes. I was in a big center. It was in big center. And like, he go to the gas station, he stab mother in her back like 20 times. After he take his car, go to the big center, he drive over 2 peoples. And after it was like 2 citizens with guns, okay? They literally aimed on him and tell him to stop. He was with knife. He tried to stab one of them and they shoot him twice, okay? And after they shoot when he was on the ground to make sure he died, because this guy not deserve to live, right? He not deserve 5-star hotel in Israel.
No.
So what's happened after? Let me tell you what's happened after to the guy that shot him.
Stab the woman?
Yeah. I wasn't there.
Oh my God.
I literally have videos on my phone. I literally record that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And like the guy that shoot them, he basically taken to the police station. And after, the police blame him for shooting the terrorist. But you know what you can see in the video? You can see a police officer running away from the place.
Whoa.
It's literally crazy. They blaming people that stop a terror attack. Think for yourself how many people he can kill. It's fucking a big center. It was maybe thousands of people in there. In Beersheba there is many people.
With guns there.
Yeah, and he shoot him. They took his gun also, and he live in Judea and Samaria in Ma'achaz. It means that he also take a risk without his gun. Instead of take him to his home with the military, protected by the military.
They should have a lot of guns.
It doesn't matter. You can't do anything. The shooting law in Israel is fucking retarded. Like, seriously, till you don't get shot in the leg or stabbed in the back, you can't do anything.
Right.
Not even, you need to shoot to the air before, and after you can shoot to the leg. After, there is many conditions for that, but it's stupid.
Oh my God.
Always tell them in the military, when I see a terrorist, I will shoot him in the head. I don't give a fuck.
Listen. carry the gun first, make sure everyone's carrying a gun, then worry about like the rules that the state is going to say you should have done it this way.
So this guy,
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to be the second Alor Azaria, akhi. Listen, I'm not afraid to be the second Alor Azaria. I will do it if I need.
I found a story. This guy killed Yosef Solomon, 70, and his 2 adult children, Chaya, 46, and Elad, 36. He was getting 2,000 shekels per month, about 643. Now he's getting 4,000 shekels. He killed these 3 people in the Binyamin area. They have a phrase for this in Arabic. It's ribat payments.
Martyr fund. It's a martyr fund. Pay for slay.
Yeah.
It's you kill a Jew and there's a sliding scale. Slay. Yeah. You kill a Jew.
You will get 72 virgin women in the heavens.
No, even more. You get by the PA or the Hamas or even wherever the money comes from. You get like my friend Ari. You get 40. The guy killed my friend. $40,000 a year. He gets $40,000, not shkalim. $40,000 a year.
But they don't care about the money. They want to die. They hold it to death.
This is not an anti-Semitic organization. It's a political movement.
Right.
So,
it's a political movement, yeah. But they kill Jews at least.
Oh no, they also killed Jewish dogs. Yesterday they killed a dog. Remember, someplace in Samaria.
Yeah, they killed dog. They literally killed the dog. Yeah, maybe the dog is also Jewish. Maybe check if
the dog was Jewish.
Jeffrey, maybe check if he's circumcised also, the dog, you know.
Guys.
I don't know. But when I read that yesterday, this guy barely got out with his life. Thank God.
Okay. Dogs in Israel are dangerous. That was just a public service. Sometimes you got to kill a dog in Israel. They're dangerous.
No.
The dog could have saved this guy's life.
How could the dog save his life?
Dogs are not dangerous. Michael, are you afraid of dogs or something?
Yeah.
You're afraid of chihuahuas?
This was his pet dog. He was on a leash.
If he's a wild dog, send him to the Palestinians. What's the problem?
Guy's pet?
Yes, he was walking his dog. He was coming back from the town or something like this. I'll get the story up if you want.
Lots of Arabs are afraid of dogs.
Yes, they hate dogs. That's one of the biggest things that they did in Abu Ghraib was bring dogs into the prison.
You see, they not even separate between a Jew to a dog. So you want them to separate between a left wing or left wing? It's fucking insane.
Hold on, I'll pull up the article from yesterday.
Pull up the article. I have to see this. Okay.
Yeah, hold on.
Like I know, I already see this, but it's literally insane.
Israeli escapes lynching by Palestinian Arabs in Samaria. Dog beaten to death. Oh my God.
So sad. It's not funny. It's not funny.
No,
it's funny for me because the Arabs, they will do everything to kill.
So dozens of residents of the village of Birkin, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, marched on Friday after prayers towards the Israeli community of Alei Zahav, where they encountered an Israeli who was walking with his dog. The mob attacked him and his dog. IDF forces who were alerted to the scene succeeded in pushing back the crowd, and the Israeli victim escaped with minor injuries. He was taken to Belincian Hospital for further treatment. His dog was beaten to death by the terrorists. A mob carrying PLO flags was reportedly led by Mustafa Barghouti. Oh, yeah, he's the brother of the other Barghouti.
They beat a dog to death?
Yes, that's what I was saying. That's not like...
awful.
Yeah, it's terrible. Like
they literally crazy. They don't care. They just that's what they want. In blood, in war, they will make Al-Aqsa free, even when Jerusalem not even mentioned in their book.
This is nuts. These people are nuts.
מה זה nuts, אחי? לא מובן בכלל.
Crazy. Insane.
Just in Israel it can happen. Seriously. I don't know if to laugh or cry, seriously. Just in Israel. Fuck this country.
And they want to push the BDS movement and this whole narrative that Israel is...
Bro, they will have a BDS party soon. Don't worry. With this country, you can't expect to anything. Maybe Israel will nuke itself. You don't know. You literally don't know.
What
if people in Tel Aviv jump from windows... If people in Tel Aviv jump from windows or go with dildo on their foreheads, man, what can I expect?
Right? Why would people in Tel Aviv jump from windows?
Ask the people in Tel Aviv. Don't ask me.
Yeah, it's like New York City, pretty much.
As in New York, is worse than New York.
Worse.
It's like a different.
They try to be super rebellious. They just do opposite.
It's like different country. It's not when you live in Beersheba like me and you go to Tel Aviv. It's like you feel you're in another state. They just speak the same language.
Yeah,
they speak the same language.
And those people are still Jews.
And they still Jews. Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm saying, and they're still Jews, and you should still treat them like your brothers.
I try. I literally try.
The shuk looks the same, but everything else is.
I don't think they treat me like I'm their brother.
Are they opening rooms about you?
Oh yeah.
Where are they?
I speak with many Tel Avivis.
No,
they say I'm killer.
Do you see anyone on Clubhouse opening rooms about you?
Not in Clubhouse. Why I need them to open Clubhouse?
No, I'm just asking.
They literally come and speak with me. Why it doesn't happen? And I don't know.
I don't see any quote unquote Chilonim opening rooms about how terrible the Haredim or the more.
Oh, once I saw the speak about the right wing.
Right wing is something else. Are we talking about religion or are we talking about politics?
Religion and politics in right wing is mixed. What do you mean? You can't be right wing and not being religious. It's hypocrite.
You can be right wing and not be religious.
I'm disagree.
Oh, you missed a good room about that this morning.
Many Israelis are right wing and are not quote unquote religious.
If they not believe in God, right? And they not believe in Judaism.
They're just not practicing. I mean, they're not observing.
Okay, not practice is another different. No practice is another different. I'm talking about
in God and religious.
Okay, I'm talking about like 100% seculars. No beliefs, no anything.
There's no such thing as 100% secular in Israel.
So atheists. Okay, atheist Jews. So atheist Jews. Okay?
Atheist Jews.
Atheist Jews.
Atheist Jews that
still... For me to see atheist that is right wing, for me is insane.
Atheist Israelis that still celebrate Hanukkah, that still have bar mitzvah.
So what if they celebrate Hanukkah? They believe in that? No, they can celebrate Zidbi also.
Why do they celebrate?
I don't know, because they celebrate it and they put Sefer Torah to a woman. So what? It's like the reforms.
And so they're atheists, so they're still Jewish. They're still
fix your mic, Julian. They're not practicing Judaism. To celebrate Hanukkah is not practicing.
And is bar mitzvah also not Jewish? What is it, Muslim?
They don't do bar mitzvah if they're atheist. I know many that didn't do. I know many that also not even circumcised.
Jews that still their kids have bar mitzvahs.
Wait, hold
why
on,
they do bar mitzvah?
That's good. Bar mitzvah, you just wake up at 13 or 12, depending on your gender, and you bar mitzvah.
Going to
all that's optional. I know, but all that's optional. You just have to wake up.
Sure, is an option.
Is still done by atheist Jews and their kids.
Why they do it?
Because it's part of their culture.
The culture, right?
Religion.
Okay. No. That's the problem. You can't say I'm not. Well, let me tell you the problem. You can't say I'm not believing Judaism, but I believe that the word Jew and everything that came from the Torah is really exist and is not like a made up shit. It's literally hypocrite. The word Israel came from the Torah. How you can deny the Torah and say Israel exist? That we have a claim for this land. How you can be atheist and say that is a Jewish land? What makes you
because they aren't
Jew? You don't even believe that the word Jew exists.
Because
what do you? I'm just telling you the hypocrisy. Maybe they still Jews. The hypocrite.
You're labeling them a certain way. You are labeling them a certain way. You're saying they're atheist
hypocrisy,
Jews.
But like logic dictates the hypocrisy.
Yeah, logically the hypocrisy, and that's impossible for me to see that. That's insane.
I mean, I'm sure if I analyze everything that you say and do, I can find a lot of hypocrisy. When you talk about when you say, is one Jew more, the life of one Jew more important than 10,000 Arabs?
Because you know why? I can answer that.
But then but then you say, so now I want to send the 10,000 Arabs out.
Because one left wing in Israel. Okay, no. No, I'm listening. But you can't make 10 points and let me respond all of them. Make one point.
When you
make 1 point.
I'd rather send 10,000 Arabs out of Israel to save one Jewish
that's another,
life.
you see, you make another point. Let me respond to each
No,
one.
I'm talking about one point. When you say...
Let me respond to the left wing first, and after say the other one with the Arabs. With the left wing, I'm telling you why. Because a guy like that vote to Meretz, for example, he can bring destruction of 1,000 Jews that will die, like happened with Rabin. Rabin bring 2,000 Jews that die because his decisions, for example. Yeah, I prefer Arabs on them.
Who
on
did
the Meretz voter.
Who did the trade for Gilad Shalit?
Who did the trade of Gilad Shalit? Bibi, you think I'm agree with Bibi?
Who's Prime Minister?
Bibi, you think I'm agree? Bibi, I say.
So Bibi is what, left wing?
Bibi is not right wing. No, he's not.
Thank you.
Literally not. He's just the ברירת מחדל. Bibi is not right wing. Bibi, you see the Neum of Bar Ilan? You see the speech of Bar Ilan of Bibi? He literally claimed a country for the Palestinians. He literally claimed a country for the Palestinians in Bar Ilan speech.
Bro, nobody will believe you if you tell them that Bibi is not right wing.
No, believe me. Go to Smotrich and Ben Gvir. Go to Smotrich and Ben Gvir and ask them if he's a right wing or not.
Why would I
no one believe me.
What they think?
Crazy people. They fight for the country. They the real people that fight for the country. What country? Israel. What country? Israel. Which army? You know they didn't accept him to the army because he was with Kahana. He's anti-Israel. He was with Kahana. They didn't accept him. All those Ashkenazis left it sit in the fucking chair. Yeah, they didn't accept him to the army because he was right wing.
Wait, what do you think Meir
Kahana mother was in the army?
Sfaradi?
Meir Kahana not was a Sfaradi, but he was fight for the Sfaradim. No one say all the Ashkenazis. I say the Ashkenazis.
He fought for all
leftists.
of Am Yisrael, every single Jew.
Oh, come on, guys. Don't.
Meir Kahana murdered for you. He murdered for you. What do you mean?
There's no murder.
He murdered for you.
Meir Kahana is a terrorist.
He died. He's a terrorist. He died in New York. He died literally murdered by a terrorist.
A terrorist killed him because Israel wouldn't.
He died terrorist. What makes him terrorist? Well, Asaf, tell me. He killed somebody. He called Esther. He called to kill somebody. He called to kill somebody. No, he didn't. He say no one can force us to live with the Palestinians. That's what it says, and it's true. And I'm agree with him. He can't force any Jew to live with those terrorists. I have a bug on my fucking Clubhouse. Wait, and you tell me, what your second point was? To kick 10,000 Arabs?
What I was saying was, the way you do the trade, you're making it seem like removing 10,000 Arabs wouldn't cost any Jewish lives, as if there wouldn't be Israeli soldiers that would be forced to enact your policy of removing Arabs from Israel.
I say that as a metaphor. I
understand, but your metaphor, if it's brought into reality, it would cost Jewish lives because you would have Israeli soldiers.
Oh, and left wing policies don't cost Jewish lives?
So you're agreeing that your policy costs Jewish lives, and
maybe, but less.
But what about the left wing?
I prefer that it will come from an Arab and not from a Jew that will trade me.
How many Israeli soldiers do you think will die if you try to remove all the Arabs from Israel?
But that's
nothing.
Either way, it's not
okay.
good.
That's because you have zero experience and zero.
First of all, no one want to kick all of them. Let's start from that. Okay.
I've heard you say it. We need to remove.
I say I want to kick all the Arabs that don't accept Israel. It's probably 99% of them. Yes.
So you want to remove all the Arabs from Israel?
All of them that not accept. Yeah.
Which you say is 99%.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe 98.
Go ask a military expert how many Israelis will die in that operation.
I will ask him. It will no operation. You know.
Go ask
why? It will be no operation. You know why? Because it will be no terrorists inside Israel anymore. It will be no fucking made-up state in the heart of our country.
But first you have to do your operation.
In this so what you prefer? That Jews will get treated by those Arabs for hundreds of centuries instead of kick them one time, for me it's worth it. I will go and do it.
How many Jewish
I will
lives are
go
you
and do
willing
it.
to risk?
I will go. Every Jew that will really care about his people, he will do it. I will do it.
So it's okay.
I will go right now and do it.
So it's okay if 100,000 Jews die in your operation?
It will not be 100,000. Man, there is nothing okay. I can tell you.
No,
okay, that maybe 20 will be injured. Maybe 20 will be injured. Maybe.
In removing 5 million Arabs from the land.
Because you're not just removing. If they will try to go against you, you can shoot them.
So how many? This is basically.
No one will die. No one will die. We give them 2 weeks. We give them 2 weeks. You won't go out. You want to stay in Israel, accept Israel. You don't accept. We're gonna clean you from here.
You live in a fantasy land. You can't.
I'm living in a fantasy. Okay.
And expect them not to.
But they can, right? They can remove you.
No,
they can remove you from Gaza, right? How you remove Jews on trains? How you remove Jews on trains and trucks? How you do it?
We should never allow anybody to remove us.
But you already do it in the past. You already do it in the past.
Israelis from
Jews, and today
Gush Katif.
And Gush Katif, and today, and also, and from Sinai also, and today, wait a second, and also today they want to kick them from Judea and Samaria.
Jews home.
Yeah. Well,
bringing
this is okay.
Jews into our house is not kicking them out of our house.
Israel, as much intellectually as I would love to entertain your idea, you don't think all of the surrounding countries wouldn't invade Israel? Like we'd have this 6-day war all over again?
They can try. We have the power to stop them. They can try, Akhi. But it's better than it's inside Israel. You know, there is a sentence in the Torah, it says, why don't want that the peoples inside me will fight with me? It can be outside, not from inside. It will be better, trust me, it will be better. If a country such like in Iran try to destroy Israel, we can nuke them. And no one will say nothing about Israel. You know why? Because Israel not denying, not confirming a nuclear policy. No one can say Israel nuke Iran. All right?
What you said? No one.
You know, the truth
Israel
is, why can't people just leave?
No one can blame.
Jewish state alone in peace. That's the question.
They can't. There's every generation is different. They can't.
We want everybody to leave us alone. We all agree that we should defend our country. We all agree with all of that. What a lot of us disagree on is the forced removal of people and thinking that can happen without costing Jewish lives.
We not force them.
Like you're in a video game.
We not force them. We tell them you can come here. You can come here. And but you put words in my mouth. No one say we force them. We can tell them come to Israel, accept Israel's sovereignty, accept that there is no such a thing as Palestine. If they say no, it means that they want to drive the Jews to the Mediterranean Sea and they want the whole land. That's what it means. We kick them out to the place that they came from.
Who's going to do it?
Who's going to do it? The military and the people that want to help.
The military. Great. So how many people do you have in your military, Mr. Israel?
We have active personnel. We have 170,000.
With reserves, 800,000.
With reserves, let's round up to 1 million.
400, almost 600,000.
So now you want every single person, reserves and active, to now go and remove 5.
You don't need such a number. You don't need such a number. No, with tanks? Yes, if I need, why not? If it was other side, if it was upside down, they will come with nukes, not just with tanks.
We know who they are. We're not them.
So you see, you know there is a sentence in the Torah, Asaf, מי שמרחם על אכזרים, סופו שיתאכזר לרחמנים. You know this sentence?
Listen.
The guy that has a mercy on the evil, he should be evil to people that have no. To the good,
Great. That still.
No, I'm not telling you. I'm telling that all the other peoples will understand.
Yes, that still does not mean that when you try to do this magic operation of removing people.
Magic operation! Oh my God, you go so far, man. That's not magic. That's reality. That's the new reality, bro, of Israel.
Cost Jewish lives.
זה כוס Jewish life, אחי, תגיד לי, אתה מסתלבט, נו, בחיית רבאק, תהיה ריאלי קצת, אחי. being real.
You're not realistic.
Well, I'm not realistic, אחי. I think most of the Jews in Israel will agree with me. They want that.
Come back when you're done with your military service and let us know how
I will done, and I wish I will make this operation in my military service.
Okay.
I wish.
I'll see you in 3 years.
Bro, like seriously, אחי, like you want to let them to have a country in the heart of Israel? What about the 800,000 Jews live in Judea and Samaria? what you gonna do with them? So how you can make a country? You can make a country with checkpoints, right?
No,
to give them to the Arabs.
There's a way to make a Palestinian state with minimal removal of Jews.
But there is no reason. There is no reason to give them a state. They nothing.
Jordan's the Palestinian
state. It's a single state. It's very obviously one.
They have Jordan and Gaza. Like what the fuck? They want another one.
I'm not saying we should go and do it, but
you give me a solution right now.
No, I don't. I'm not. The solution right now is status quo. That's the solution.
Okay, the status. No, but that's cost Jews. That's cost Jewish lives. No, it's not the best. I just give you another solution.
That costs the least amount of Jews.
No. That's not true.
Like
what do you mean? Jews afraid to go to Hebron? What do you mean? Why soldiers need to keep us? Thousands of soldiers need to keep the Jews in Judea and Samaria for literally no reason. We can kick those invaders out, and that's it. It will be peace. Trust me. If Arabs want to visit Israel, there is no problem. They can come and go. But come and go. Go to the place that they came from, because they're not from here. They're not from here.
If you're looking at 3 options, one is keep doing what you're doing. The other option is create a Palestinian state unilaterally by yourself. The other option is to make all of them citizens. With those...
No, it's all of them, אחי. I'm telling you, probably.
Your fourth option is forced removal.
Probably half of them will accept it.
The citizenship option is difficult because they will eventually...
because it will change the demographic,
Well, not only that, but half them want to kill us anyway, so why would we...
I will not give them to vote to the Knesset. I will not give them. They will have less rights than any Jew, yes, but they will still have more rights under Abu Mazen.
So hold on.
Then you feed the apartheid.
A second ago you said those who accept Israel can stay, right?
They can stay, but not vote to the government not get voted.
So, are you going to charge them taxes?
They will pay taxes. Yeah, they will get all the rights that they need.
What you're setting up.
We'll have them pay jizya.
Hold on. What you're setting up is exactly in your mind. We don't have this in Israel. You're setting up a dhimmi system. You're saying you'll pay tax.
Stop. I'm kidding. It's funny how it's okay for them to have a jizya, but they would...
Why they... Yes, exactly. Why we need to pay... Why we need to pay for being Jews in their countries, even when we help them, okay? And they just make terror attacks against us, and they don't need to pay. I say, why in their countries we had to pay the jizya? My family were paying the jizya.
Shitty people. That's why.
You see, that's the problem. You can't show mercy to evil peoples, because you will have mercy on evil peoples after.
How come 30 Muslim countries can run?
מי שמרחם על אכזרים, סופו שיתאכזר לרחמנים.
Wait, are you saying how come they can do something bad? Why can't we do it too?
No, I said how come 30 Islamic countries can run it based on their religion, but we can't run ours on our religion?
I'm not.
That's...
Hold on.
It's not even in the religion, Joe. It's not even in the religion. It's just a simple...
We're talking about making people citizens of the country. You're telling them because of their identity, they're never going to be allowed to vote.
Identity. They don't have...
It's not their identity. It's where
nothing.
It's their lack of identity. Forget who
it's literally a terrorist organization.
The sons of Israel inheritors of that land or not.
It's not that. It's like a Vatican. There's a certain amount of housing. You have to pay for it. You have to be a certain person to own the property there. And if you're an enemy against the state, you're going to get kicked out. It's like an insurrection against the state.
We just agreed. Hold on. We already said that.
Yeah, that's called treason.
Wait, we said these people would be people who already accepted under Israel Jews law.
No, anyone who accepts.
Who say that shit?
Wait,
out of the 2 million Israeli Arabs, you probably have like 250,000 enemies of the state.
Give him to speak. Give him to speak. Let's see what you have to say.
You said those who accept Israel as
נכון.
and leave you said their Palestinian identity behind, they will become citizens of Israel, correct? But you're saying
נכון, אבל they will have less rights than the Jews. Yeah.
Those people
Still better than any Arab country.
will have less rights than the Jews, correct?
Well, they need less rights, otherwise they're going to vote in the abolishment of Israel.
Exactly. They will change the demographic of Israel. I'm not going to let them do it. I'm not going to let them.
Anyone. It's so that
Which
they don't
is why
overtake the
I
country.
wouldn't make them citizens. You want to make them citizens.
זה לא citizen, זה תושב.
It's like
זה
a
נקרא
pass
תושב
to live
בעברית.
there. It's not a citizenship.
זה נקרא תושב, אחי, זה לא אזרח, זה
You
תושב.
are keeping people from having full rights.
But they still have more rights than under Abu Mazen, אחי.
Stop.
What you prefer? What's up, אחי?
Hold on. Most Islamic lands, I've talked to Saudi Arabia.
I don't care about Islamic lands.
I'm allowed to speak.
You don't care, but I'm just comparing you.
Why? Compare it to shitty lands.
No, I'm allowed to speak. I'm just going to speak and I'm going to tell you. I talked to a Saudi
אני באמת לא מבין אותך, אחי, לא מבין אותך.
Saudi Arabian. He was laughing. He's like, after 5 Arab armies tried to destroy you all, why did you give them even full rights as citizens? He's like, you've made this mess for yourself. He's like, in Saudi Arabia and many Islamic lands, if you're a Muslim, you can come and live in the land, but they will never, ever give you full citizenship. They'll give you residency, they'll give you whatever, but they'll never give you full citizenship because they don't want to take the chance that they can't expel you if you do anything wrong, and they don't want to take their own population and give other people more rights than their own population.
Esther, do you think taking advice from these guys is a good idea?
I'm not talking about taking advice. I'm talking about
That's what you're talking about. It's literally what you're talking about.
No, she's talking about the social standards for warfare in this region.
And you're saying that we should act like the Arabs.
I'm not saying we should act like
no,
Arabs.
she's saying we can learn from everybody. We can learn from everybody. There's nothing wrong with learning from other people.
They secure their lands, and I respect that they secure their lands. I want my
more than the Jews.
So
more than the Jews.
We're taking a lesson of how to run a country.
So you're saying that
if you're saying it's not appropriate to take a lesson from their countries, that's wrong. That's a wrong attitude.
You guys think the Pact of Umar
and apply it for good. We can apply it for good.
Hold on. Do you think the Pact of Umar was a good thing?
I don't know.
You think the Pact of Umar was good?
You're delusional.
I'm losing my mind right now.
You're confused, Asaf.
What am I confused about?
I don't know.
You're confused, delusional, and you have dreams of grandeur where they're all going to get granted a citizenship or a state.
I don't want to give them citizenship.
They also know. Asaf. Wait, Joe. They also know.
One of your options is actually not even an option.
But they also know. They also don't want to become a citizen. They want to drive you over to the Mediterranean Sea. I will tell you that again, and they say that. Go to Shem Gate.
First step, locate every single one of these guys who have incited
Call themselves invaders.
They act probably on social media. They don't care. They say it outright, and kick every single one of those people out. Then you have
exactly to the place that they came from.
Then and let them be absorbed, and we can even help them be absorbed into the other countries by providing airfare.
How many people do you think that is?
Transportation.
How many? The 5 million.
The demiurge is the ruler of Israel. Down with Israel. Down with everyone that supports this apartheid state.
I moved this Nazi to the audience. Yeah. We support
First thing you do is you take the spikes out of your sides. You kick them all out. That's insurrection. It's they're committing treason.
How many?
And now you have somewhat of a clean
Joe,
slate.
he's asking you a question. How many do you think?
How many do you think actually put it in writing?
Well, first of all, we know for a fact that just a couple months ago, 70,000 people stormed Al-Aqsa and screamed down with the state. So there's 70,000 right there.
Hold on, you're jumping from one thing to another. You said take the people who are inciting violence, right, on social media.
No, not just social media. I said that the people inciting violence also probably post on social media, so you have a record of it. Okay. But there were 70,000 of them.
How do you remove the people that you don't have a record for?
They do things in public. What do you mean?
Okay, so individuals who do things that are against Israel in public,
and on social media, and you take them out. You take them out.
עזוב אותך, אחי, עזוב, it's not just that, אחי. It's very simple, Asa. Yeah, you start in there, but I tell him how we start. We can give them 2 weeks to accept Israel or not. You can, like you say, we can locate those people, probably 99% of them. Wait a second, probably 99% of them will not accept Israel. I mean, you can make something that if Israel will be an Allah state, that's I'm sure it will happen. And you can kick them to the place that they came from. If they go against you, we will make war against them. We not cry a war that we not make. They make the war.
It's just dumb.
And they will cry about that.
This is also in the Torah. It's promised us that if we do not do this,
it's called Milchemet Reshut, by the way. Yes, it's a commandment.
It's a commandment that if we don't, they will take the country down.
It's called Milchemet Reshut, yeah.
No, this is
it's Milchemet Chova. I don't know. It's between Chova and Reshut. I don't remember.
Guys, yes, it's borders. Blessing until we do this. We do
remember what Takia is?
So it's Chova.
Do you remember what Takia
is? Either way,
yeah, I know what this Takia is.
Yes,
you
I know what. I know you know.
Wage a war because you don't have a son.
Yeah, I remember.
So you don't think that they would lie in order to stay in your country so they can?
It's not about them. Yeah, maybe if we gave them an option.
So that's but they will not. They will not. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, Asaf.
These guys, they can pick them up today. It's not that you're going to give them a choice now. So that they can lie to your face.
Wait, Joe, I have an answer for him. For that. Probably most of them will go against Israel, okay? If the guys that stay there and do like Muhammad in the past when he conquered all the Middle East and lie, like, because basically they get those values from Muhammad in the Quran, okay? Now, I will take them out again. I will take each of them out. And if we need to kill them, we will kill them. Any invader, any guy that wants terrorism and Duma wa Dima, we will give him Duma wa Dima. You feel me?
Most Arabs.
It's stupid if we don't do this, to be honest. We're retarded if we do not do it.
They talk about apartheid in the chat. Oh my God, Akhi. They talk about apartheid in the chat. Let me respond for them. Let me respond for them.
We don't.
How many Jews were living in all those Arab countries? Hundreds of thousands of Jews. Tell me how many of them been lawyers or doctors? Tell me, guys in the chat. Tell me.
Listen, I've been doing these conversations literally as long as you've been alive. So please, you're not telling me anything new when you bring up these points. I'm on your side on most of this stuff. What I'm saying is
bro, how you with in my side, אחי? תגיד לי איך אתה בצד שלי.
Most of the stuff most Jews agree on.
איך אתה לא, אני לא מסכים איתך על כלום, על מה אתה מדבר?
Because we're only talking about what we disagree on.
It doesn't matter what Jews agree
on. Okay, tell me what we agree on. Tell me what we agree on.
The list is so long, we can't even comprehend how long it is. What I'm saying is, you can't use. When people in the chat, I'm not even looking at it, but I'm going to assume just because I know where the conversation is going. Israel is not an apartheid state, but you saying we're going to have people who are going to be now residents of Israel, and we're going to tell them because you are not Jewish, you don't get the right to vote.
Mm-hmm.
That is de facto a two-tier system, where one tier is higher, one tier is lower. So
that's not because of that. It's because they want to drive the Jews to the sea.
We're talking about people who said to you, I am willing to accept Israel. You said only those people can stay.
If it I'm telling you, there is few options of that, okay? If it will be no majority of Arabs.
You said you will first.
I'm talking about this. I'm talking about just this. Yes. It depends. It depends how many Arabs will accept. It depends how many Arabs will be in Israel. How many Jews live in Israel today, Asaf? בערך 7 million, לא? If it will become close to 5 million, I don't think I will give them. But if it will be 2 million, it's okay. Yeah?
Okay, so that's not a policy.
It is a policy.
And say, well, let's see how it goes. Either the policy makes sense or
because I can't take the Jewish identity in the risk. What do you mean?
Asaf, let me ask you a question. Okay, let me ask you a question. Ready. If Mashiach came today, and he said, first thing we need to do according to the Torah is remove the people who are creating chaos. Would you be in agreement?
Did you hear what I said? Mashiach comes,
If Mashiach came today and became king of Israel, and made a law saying,
answered the question. If Mashiach comes, I'll listen to whatever he says.
Okay, so but you know that Mashiach will say that, right?
When Mashiach comes, we can open a clubhouse room. I'll agree.
But until Mashiach comes, you want to differ on every single opinion about what the Torah says.
About what the Mashiach is going to do? With you, because you're not the Messiah.
We know exactly what is needed. It states in the Torah. Yes, it does. It states in the Torah that they will be
doesn't say anything
thorns in your sides if you do not remove them. It says
we're talking about people.
All right, prophet.
It says that in the book of Exodus, actually, yeah.
We are talking about
Why don't you leave the interpretation of our prophecies to the rabbis, all right?
Michael, what's your problem?
I'm laughing from the chat. I'm laughing from the chat. This Umar called us an occupiers.
I don't accept just demagogues reading from our sacred text and declaring that a thing is prophesied by our God. I listen to the rabbis, all right? And you don't have a single
I think the rabbis agree with Joko.
That the rabbis are of the opinion that a prophecy says we have to kick out the Palestinians.
What are you talking about, Michael? Even the idolaters.
Are you retarded? Does the prophecy say to keep the enemies inside?
This guy is an acid, I swear.
What are you talking about? Even idolaters have to go.
Michael, you are a confused Jew, my friend.
This is actually hilarious because I don't even agree with Michael on most stuff, but he probably knows more about Judaism than everybody on stage combined. And you guys
when Mashiach comes, Michael's going to argue against Mashiach when he wants to kick out the enemies from within the state. Everyone who said down with Israel, he wants to keep, right?
Yes, nachon.
No. I obey the Lord Messiah.
What do you mean you obeyed it?
First of all, he's not even a lord, you fake Jew.
He's referring to Isaiah.
He called him the Lord right now. What you so
Michael, we don't call Hashem the Lord.
There is one Hashem.
We don't call Mashiach Lord. He's not God.
Michael, I want to say hang tough. Michael, hang tough. These guys are trolling you now. They're not even serious.
We're not trolling. We're not trolling
him. So Michael's hang tough.
Who trolled them, Randy? Who trolled him? Who trolled him?
Your friend? Yes, you.
I find hilarious that you guys have the audacity to call Michael a fake Jew when he has more of an acknowledgement than any of you. You guys are just being
joking, by the way.
I didn't call anyone.
Oh, joking. What you call joking, we call trolling.
Randy, mute yourself.
Hold on, it's a joke.
No, we're laughing because he said the Lord Messiah. Julian, you're not even a Jew, man. Like, go down.
Esther, are you under the impression that Jews don't use the word Lord?
No, just not. We say just on the Lord.
Not you, Israel Jew. Esther, are you under the impression that Jews don't use the word Lord?
We shouldn't be. That's
No. Please,
it's not its term.
Do you have your Tanakh?
Well, no.
Hold on. Do you have your Tanakh? Open your Tanakh.
That's not
the
one of the
JPS
72
Tanakh,
names.
the Jewish Tanakh.
That's not one of the 72 names that I would ever call Hashem while I'm praying, ever.
Esther, open your Tanakh and let me know how many times it says Lord in the English translation.
My problem wasn't that he said Lord. It's the problem he called Mashiach Lord Mashiach.
No,
y'all are being so petty.
She said Jews do not use the word Lord.
Let's not be divisive.
Bro, this is just a funny joke.
You devalue any argument you make when you talk like
Michael just meant it as our political leader.
Michael started this. All I'm talking about is what would Mashiach do, and he's calling me a prophet.
Right, because you don't get to say exactly how the Messiah comes about.
I'm not saying how he comes about. I'm saying he's going to follow the Torah. That's what we know.
That's great, but what the answer was to you is that when Mashiach commands that's
the Palestinians, as you.
I never said he's going to demand ethnic cleansing of No, I didn't. I said he's going to kick out the people inciting violence.
That's ethnic cleansing, just so you know.
Yeah, that's what that sounds like.
You guys are retarded if you think that kicking out the enemy who wishes for your death is...
Yeah, they literally call themselves invaders. They literally call themselves... Wait.
Joe, you sound
okay.
Guys,
But they literally call themselves invaders.
Guys, I haven't said a word
yet.
Yeah,
we'll listen.
Thank you. Let me say real fast. There's a definition for what is ethnic cleansing, right? It's the Second Geneva Conventions. So while you might not think in your world, and I'm not insulting you, I'm just saying in your definition, it just is kicking out people who are dangerous to us. I get it. I'm just saying the rest of the world has different opinions and different actual so-called legal definitions. I'm not a big fan of so-called international law, but the fact is that it is defined. So
it doesn't matter. You're not going to wait till they kill you to kick them out.
It has a very
Exactly. We're not gonna wait.
Today they are.
Daniel, I want to say
Today they are.
bro.
So apparently we are waiting.
Yeah, and today there could be
Andrew,
one
I have
more
a
dead
question.
Jew, God forbid.
Yes, there is.
So the king of Israel and Mashiach is going to have to wait for the UN to pass that if it's okay or not. Meanwhile, hold on,
Esther.
Hold on, one second. And the UN just passed that Iran has women's rights. Like, you think the Mashiach or anyone?
We're gonna wait till they nuke us. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait till this.
Guys, I'm with you.
Andrew.
Mashiach says something, I will listen. I'm not gonna listen to human beings.
But you realize that all Mashiach is going to do is take what's in the Torah and
I
apply
heard you.
it.
I hear you, my friend. I'm just saying that you telling me that is different than the Mashiach.
But we can't wait till Iran nuke us. We can't.
I'm not saying anything other than he's going to apply the Torah.
We all understand that. We all understand.
So look in the Torah. What does it say?
Andrew,
if you keep in the people who are calling for your death, they will take down the country. That's the first thing. What he's probably going to do.
Listen, it's like in Israel. Joe, wait a second. We can't wait till someone stab us in the back and after say, oh, now we can attack him. That's the shooting law in Israel, and that's retarded. If Iran says they want to nuke Israel, we should nuke them before that.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
But no, it's
we
murder.
can't wait. We can't wait till the camel comes to you. The camel can't come to the mountain before you come to the mountain.
Let me ask real fast because
Julian want to say something. Guys, Julian want to speak. He didn't
just
speak.
how old they are, just before we go any further. I just don't know how old.
12.
What?
You don't know how old we are. What the fuck? How old are you?
I'm 50. I'm 53. It is.
What does that matter? What does that matter?
Wait,
because
hold on.
I'm just wondering, just so I have some idea.
Wrong topic. Wrong topic.
Hey, the non-Jew want to speak, please, guys.
Can you give me a different name? I don't feel like calling you Jew every time. Pick another name.
Wait a second. JJK want to speak, guys. Let him.
Why?
Yeah, I'll get serious, right? So, like, if you look at the actual definition of ethnic cleansing, right? I'll be honest, bro. Just about even touching a mosquito can be ethnic cleansing. So, like,
that's not true at all. It's a defined word in the second Geneva, the first and second Geneva.
What are you scared of? The UN saying something bad about Israel?
No.
Hold on. Just please stay on the definition.
They're already saying we're doing ethnic cleansing, and we're not.
No. Bro, just hold on. Stay on the definition. Andrew, if you want, we can read the definition of ethnic cleansing, and I will show you things which, like, you would question. Why would this even entail ethnic cleansing in the first place? Like, there are, like, some really questionable, like, consequence in that, like, legal definition. So that's why I don't accept it.
It's just a confusing rabbit hole of a retarded, illogical
it's
answer.
Not, sir.
It's
the real
not
world
ethnic
matters.
cleansing if you're protecting yourself.
That's not true, sir. It's not true, sir. You can't kick out population.
I'm gonna kill anybody who comes to kill me first, and you're not.
Exactly. They make a war. You can't literally cry on the word that you already make. Yes, you disagree. מי שמרחם על אכזרים, סופו שיתאכזר לרחמנים. I'm telling you this is again and again.
Outside of my house that they're gonna come and kill me tomorrow. They're gonna come into my house and kill me. Me killing that person first is not called murder. It's called self-defense.
Agreed, but you have to actually have enough of a suspicion that this specific person.
So them chanting it on the Temple Mount and actually carrying out things in the streets is not evidence.
Should we arrest Jews that yell death to Mavet La'Arabim?
Yeah, it sounds like to me that you're the one that's saying stuff that could get you arrested.
Wow, you guys are so illogical.
Is it
beyond. You want to keep the people in until they kill somebody. Then give them a slap on the wrist.
Should we arrest Jews?
Yes, if you say Mavet La'Arabim without like why all Arabs? Like,
without context, yes, I'm agree. You should arrest them. But if they say that about terrorists, because everyone knows that the only terrorists that been in Israel, they're just Arabs, right? So yeah, I can understand where it comes from. I can understand it. I'm not saying it's good, but I can understand it.
I'm sorry, Israel, when you have a second.
Julian, please.
Israel, ask me, just tag me in some point because I have a question for you. I just don't want to take over. Just let me know when I can ask a question. Thank you.
You can ask. I'm sorry.
My question is, after listening for a while, is that let's just say you could get what you're trying to do and go in the West Bank and just start pushing towards Jordan for the sake of argument. What do you think would happen from the north with Hezbollah? What do you think would happen from Gaza? What do you think would happen from Syria? an honest question. Do you think that there would
They're
be
going to do the
uprisings?
same thing that they did last month, which is fire rockets.
But when's the last time Hezbollah at the same time as Hamas, as much as through Syria,
So you
probably from the negative also?
You'd rather keep the enemy in until they all come
No, sir.
attack at the same
I asked a
time.
question. I asked a direct question. Do you think that
deal
there would
with
be
one thing at a time.
Joe,
One thing at a time.
Joe, you can't deal with one at a time when there's 10,000 missiles coming from Hezbollah.
You're scared. You're operating in a
No, sir.
headspace of fear.
So I'm asking you, Joe, calm down,
The
Joe.
enemy without will come
Joe,
in. That's a
hold on.
perspective of fear.
Please, guys.
Joe,
But Joe, let him speak. Let him speak to you, okay? You can't speak in the let him speak.
What I'm saying is that if there's an uprising, we know...
He's on the phone. You can ask me. He's on the phone.
I'm just saying, we know what Israel had to do the last three major times Gaza erupted. But next time, when there's a major, if Israel's pushing people out, there'd have to be an incursion. So we know how many soldiers would have to go into Gaza. If there was 10,000 missiles coming from southern Lebanon, we know that Israeli soldiers would have to go into southern Lebanon, much less talking about from Syria. The Golan Heights would have to be definitely defended. So now we've got soldiers pushing out hundreds of thousands of Palestinians in the West Bank. We've got soldiers protecting, going into Gaza, going into southern Lebanon. Do you really think that this is going to cause less death than the current status quo?
You're operating from a headspace of fear.
Yes, from the future. You know why? Well, let me answer him, Joe.
Think like that.
Joe, let me answer him. It's very simple. I'm telling you why it's gonna take less life. That's the all propaganda that they do. They intervene in our society. They immigrate more and more and more. They try to be always on the stage of the world, okay? And in the day that they will have the power, they will attack. Yeah, they will make the second Oslo.
I'm just saying that if you push them out,
and it will be no Israel after.
Israeli Jewish deaths happen. If there was wars
less,
from Hezbollah,
less.
So you're saying Jews going back into Lebanon and going into Gaza will be less deaths.
You can just bomb the fuck of them. Yeah, you can do it. You don't need soldiers for that much. You can defend the borders after. Maybe it will cost wars, but Israel need to show some aggressive. Israel need to show some aggression. We've been fucking calm with them too much. We need to show some aggression.
Here's the thing. When Mashiach comes, here's the thing.
I want to know this. Are you going to bomb Yehuda v'Shomron?
Here's the thing.
Why should I bomb Yehuda v'Shomron?
So you'll go in on the ground if the war erupts from there?
In Judea and Samaria, it's different case. I'm talking about Syria and Lebanon.
Judea and Samaria, where you have three
in Judea and Samaria, I listen. It's very easy. You don't need thousands of soldiers. You don't need thousands of soldiers in Judea and Samaria. You don't need. Maybe a few hundreds or few thousands, and that's it.
Andrew, let me tell you something that maybe you realize. But when Mashiach,
why you need thousands of soldiers?
Mashiach will usher in an era of peace, right? That's what we all understand.
Okay, so let him come already.
But totally, let's talk about it when the Mashiach comes.
No, we can talk about it now. It's a mitzvah to talk Torah. So when Mashiach comes, and you know how he achieves that peace? He achieves it through war. And because he needs to kick out the enemy, and that's how you achieve peace. Okay, so it's not like inciting more violence and inciting more ethnic cleansing. It's achieving peace. It's achieving safety. It's something that you need to do no matter what.
Okay,
and so to say that we can't talk about it, but the Mashiach can usher in an era.
Talk about whatever you want, and we can.
Then that's an inappropriate thing to say. We can do.
We're not in the time of Mashiach.
Why do we answer to America every time we need to
We're doing the time of Mashiach. Okay, that's open for argument. That's open. According Daniel 9, we already said.
Started to come 75
according Daniel 9, we already.
From 75
after 74 years in Israel.
They immediately ushered it.
So, Joe, we can't hear you. You have a bad connections. Asaf, according Daniel 9, we already 74 years in Israel. It means that yes, we already in the prophet.
The moment the creation of Israel was born again, the redemption began.
You mean the second?
Go and read Ezekiel 38, 37, and Zechariah 14. Will go with me. What?
State of Israel ushered in Mashiach?
They will not. It depends. It's up to God. It's up to God.
But
it's up to God.
The process.
It's up to God.
Entered into that era, and it's going to happen at any minute. The creation itself was the signal of the prophet.
It's already happened. What do you mean, Joe? Kids root to their parents. Everything is honestly,
everything is expensive.
That's
really true. You know what the real truth is? I don't think Mashiach will come until we do what we need to do. because it's already here.
We can't. It will be Gog Magog soon, akhi. That's why we need to kick the Palestinians. Gog Magog will happen, and that's it, akhi. That's it. Seriously, we tired of this shit. We tired. We've been. Listen to me. We've been 2,000 years settlers in other countries, but today they called us settlers in our own country. It's fucking insane.
The whole creation of the
fuck this shit. I'm tired of this.
Of the state and the fulfillment of the prophecy, as we were escaping the Holocaust in the gas chambers, is now coming to fruition. It's all happening already. It's pretty much happened. All we need to do is do what we need to do.
Okay, so first get all the Jews back to Israel.
No, first kick out the fucking enemy within Israel before I take everybody of my people into it.
Okay, so if you can identify an enemy, then kick them out. But you can't just decide that people
we have identified the enemy and they're still there. The IDF cannot.
You can't decide that people are enemies based on who they are or who they're not. They are either specifically enemies
based
or
on
they're not.
who's an enemy based on their behavior.
Okay, great. So, but you have to judge each person individually. You cannot just decide a whole group of people.
Oh, he say the enemy of the humanity is Zionist. They don't even know what Zionism means.
What's amazing is it's like when we were all over the world, everyone said, go back to Israel.
You need to do it.
Yeah, and now they go back to Israel, and now they say go back to Europe.
I never said you have to do it all at the same time with a bomb to a whole city.
They don't want us everywhere. They want us
That's ethnic cleansing.
in the sea. Not even in the sea. Not even in the sea, you know? Every generation is different person. Like, seriously, I'm tired of this shit. We should be show some aggression one time. We have the power today. יאללה, כוסים אמא שלהם כולם. נמאס לי מזה כבר. בחייאת רבאק, אחי.
Should be promoting for Jews from all over the world.
I will call to all Jews in the world to come here and fight with those fucking invaders. They literally look in the chat. They don't even know what Zionism means. The enemy of the word Zionism started in the first temple destruction. Go and read the Torah, man. שם ישבנו גם בכינו בזוכרנו את ציון. That's not Zionism?
Who said anything about something not being Zionism?
The people in the fucking chat, they literally
have
crazy.
history in their books. They don't even know half of what it means. They think that we took an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. That Jews were walking around lacking of eyes and fingers missing. They don't even know what they're reading. They think they have something to do with our history.
I'm tired of this. Seriously, I'm tired of this. How ignorant they are. You also. Yeah, say something, GGK, but fix
honestly,
your mic.
It's scary. When Mashiach comes, we're literally going to get punished for not doing this.
Let's bring a Palestinian to it. Let's see what you have to say.
We're not removing the enemy from within our walls. The enemy, not based on their identity, but based on their behavior. The people who have said down to Israel, the people who have said that they're going to murder someone, the people who have committed crimes in that.
The people who say they're going to murder Jews should be removed. Okay.
Everyone who threatens against the state or against the people of the state should be removed.
I think we have to have some kind of red lines, right?
No, a threaten is attempt to say I'm going to kill you, and then you have the opportunity to defend yourself before they do it.
That's fine. Saying that you want, like, for example, if I say I wish Michael Zoll bad health, okay, that's different than me poisoning.
My friend,
him.
they're not going and saying, I wish the state of Israel bad health. They're saying, down to Israel from the river to the sea, kill every Jew.
Can you be a civilized person for a second?
Can you be a logical human?
If someone is yelling death to America, okay?
Kick him out.
To Israel.
Treason.
Wait, if someone is yelling death to America or death to Israel, it's a little bit different than someone saying to a crowd of people, we need to all go and storm the Knesset.
פירוק פידם נפדי את אל-אקצה is better?
What?
When they say פירוק פידם in blood and in spirit, we will make Al-Aqsa free. Is literally to say we will kill the Jews till Al-Aqsa will be till Israel will be unclean from Jews.
I see you have a lot of false assumptions about how this should be carried out. So you should ask questions rather than make false assumptions.
No, but hold on. You came into the conversation midway. Israel Jew. Can you just give me a name to call you? I hate just calling you Israel Jew. What's your name?
My name is Joe. You can call me Joe.
Not you. Israel Jew. What's your name? Or give me a name.
Daniel.
So what we were talking about was saying to all of the Arabs in Israel, you have to basically pledge allegiance to Israel or you're out, correct? Basically?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
But Joe, nobody's talking to you.
That you misinterpreted again.
No, I'm not misinterpreting. He just confirmed that's what we're
No,
talking
but that's
about.
not what he means either, because you can't just
you're going to tell him what he means
after, because you cannot just come.
Just shut up for a second. I'm having
No,
a
you shut up.
conversation with
You
Daniel.
shut up and stop leading the conversation down the wrong path.
I'm talking to Daniel. Can you listen to the conversation? And then maybe you can pitch in. Daniel is talking about having every Arab in Israel pledge allegiance to the state of Israel. And those who do not have to leave. That's what we're discussing. You want
that's a stupid way of going about this process.
Okay, but that's what he wants. He's the lead mod.
Okay.
It's his room. That's what he wants to say.
Think logically, though. Think logically, not who says what. Think logically.
Oh, now I need to think logically for someone else.
No, you should think logically about the topic, not for somebody else, about the topic. Why would we go and do that when all they could do is say, yes, we are friends of the state, then you just stay,
That was literally my point.
Obviously, that's what I'm saying. You're making a stupid path. I don't want to go down that path. So what you do is Israel already has intel about every single violent and criminal offender.
Listen, if you want to be on my side of the argument, you're more than welcome. But that's literally what I was saying to him.
Okay, we're not talking about that. There's already a database. There's already a database with offenders, and there's already social media with offenders. There's places that you could start that are fully kosher.
I don't disagree.
Democratic law would actually emphasize doing it.
I am not disagreeing with this.
You start there. That's all I'm saying.
You do disagree with that. You do disagree with that. You do disagree with
to the state of Israel.
You disagree with what I say, so you disagree with that.
That's the thing, Joe. He's now conflating what you're saying with what he's saying.
No, because that's what he meant. He didn't realize where that logic goes.
Ask him.
Doesn't matter. Why are you talking about this? That way of logic doesn't make sense. So
tell him.
If you want to talk about this logically,
tell him. Don't tell me.
Okay. We're just talking. Nobody's here as the governor of Israel.
Tell him that his point is illogical, not me. He's right here. Go ahead.
No, he realizes it already.
In the meantime, let's have some entertainment. We'll bring up Omar, who says the right Islamic. He says the right Islamic way of keeping Islam is the Taliban. Hi, Omar. How are you today?
Perfect. Yes. After we remove the thorns from within, we can start to remove the Taliban, ISIS, Hezbollah, and Iran. And not in that order.
And not Iran, you mean the Iranian regime. The
Iranian regime, correct.
People
I should say
are our ancient friends. We want
correct,
the best
correct.
for them.
Many good Persians, definitely.
So Omar, how are you feeling today? Is the Taliban doing any good things in the world, Omar?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
You told us in front of many people that you think that the best example of Islam to be implemented is the Taliban. Can you expand?
Oh, Omar is here. Okay.
Yeah. Look, I think the Taliban, as far as I'm concerned, I don't agree with all their principles, like I said before, but a lot of what they do is accurate to Islamic Sharia.
Omar, can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
You say we occupied this, right? So you've been occupied all Israel for 600 years. Who is the occupier?
Let's first, you say occupy. First of all, when we say occupy, until this day, majority of the people living in the Levant are Canaanite.
Where are the Canaanites? Exactly.
Yeah, but
where are the Canaanites?
There's no.
Yes, it's not true, Andrew. You know how we know that? First of all, it was more Jews than Arabs in 1948. You can't say that.
The history. Yeah, but let's be honest.
You can't say that.
When Israel,
Omar, why you ran away from that? You occupied the land. When the Jews spent the time in the diaspora, you take the chance and you occupied it. You occupied it first, and you didn't create a country. just like claiming that you were empires.
But we conquered the lands from who? We conquered the lands
from who? From another empires, from the Jews.
Romans, from Romans.
Yeah, but from
the Byzantines.
The Romans. But wait, let me show him the fact, guys. Look, and the Romans from who the Romans occupied it? From the Jews, right? The Jews didn't occupy it from nobody because they already been here for hundreds of years.
I agree.
And you guys came after 1,000 years.
The Jews at one point conquered the Levant.
No, but they did not have a government.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Omar, you can't. Wait, Omar, the Indians.
They did not have a government. We established the first kingdom in government.
Omar, they tell me the Indians occupied India.
Let me say something real fast, Omar, real fast. The Turks, when the Ottomans were there, they kept excellent records of how many people were in this region. We know that the history's shown that. We know that between around 1900 and 1948, the population in that area grew by like 6 times. If we know that's true, how can you say that most of the people there were Canaanites? It's simply just the genetics show it's not true, and the population growth. It's most basic. It's most basic facts. I'm not trying to upset you or directly come at you. I'm just saying that the anthropological and population data.
You can upset him, Andrew. You can upset him. Andrew, you can upset him.
Supports the Taliban. God forbid.
Don't be nice to terrorist supporter. Don't be nice to terrorist supporter. He supported a literally terrorist organization. Palestine, the PLO and Hamas is literally supported.
I have not said that. No.
Yes, I can. Who created Palestine? Yasser Arafat, right? He created the organization, the PLO, right? Who was Yasser Arafat? He was a terrorist in Germany.
I'm not even talking
about
PLO.
Which people?
I'm simply talking,
okay, so what you support? What you support? So what you support?
Muslim conquered.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they conquer Israel.
That majority of the people still living there.
They never create Palestine.
Yeah, no, look.
Why they didn't create Palestine? First of all, Palestine is a Roman name. It means invader. Why they didn't create it?
I do not believe that Philistine is the names of Palestinians, right? I don't agree with the flag.
Okay, so man, so what they are? What history they have?
More with the bullshit of your lies.
You're embarrassing yourself when you say they're not Palestinians right now because they claim to be Palestinians. So tell me right now. So wait, Joe. So tell me, wait a second, Joe. So I will give you to speak with him. So, trust me. But Omar, so if they're not Palestinians, so what they are? Not even Jerusalem mentioned in the Quran, and you claim to have Al-Aqsa. Tell me seriously, what is your fucking goal? What you trying to do?
So when we're talking, first of all, when it talks to Palestinians, you said that Islam conquered or Arabs conquered the Levant. I am telling you, a lot of
Arabs, the Mamluks. They not was Palestinians, they was Mamluks.
Over 50% of Palestinians are either Canaanite or Jewish. Okay? And that is something
they not.
Where'd
you even
oh my God, they not. You know why they not? First of all, they not. You Ishmaelite. You Ishmaelites. You're not Canaanites. You came from Egypt. Most of them came from Egypt.
Israel, they would have had to keep between the tribe of Ishmael for 4,000 years like we have.
So they came from Saudi Arabia.
That would be giving them a huge...
So they came from the Arab desert. It doesn't matter. So they came from the Arab desert. They Bedouin.
From Egypt. She was a Hamite. She was from Kush.
Okay. I know. So they literally Bedouin.
I think the problem is when it comes to Jewish people in specific, they don't admit that some Palestinians are...
Because there is no Jews Palestinians, my friend. They Jews, they came from Judea. It's like you will tell to the Indians, you're not Indians. You Pakistanis. It's the same fucking shit. It's the same fucking shit.
Are Palestinians indigenous?
No.
Okay, so when we say
most of their last names say so too, Omar. Like
look, Esther, I agree. I agree.
Can I just finish what I'm going to say? Hold on. The fact is, most of their names even say what they are: Al-Kurd, Al-Turk, they say Masri, which is Egyptian, Mughrabi, which is Moroccan. Okay, that's when you ask indigenous, like they're even names tell you where they're originating from.
I said before, I agree. Palestinians very diverse. Palestinians are very diverse. I say it again. They are very diverse. Some are Kurds, yes. When for example,
what do you mean? They came from Jordan,
Kurd, right? The Ottomans were Turks, so they brought Turkish culture. I am saying yes, I agree. Palestinians are very diverse, but we also have to admit that some Palestinians.
But you asked if they're indigenous.
Esther, what you say? So some Palestinians what? Some Palestinians what? Say that, because I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
Say that. Some Palestinians what?
Some Palestinians are Turks or Kurds. They have that background. But I'm saying we have to still be honest that majority of the Palestinians are still of Canaanite descent.
Okay, it's literally disputed. That's literally disputed. Let me show you your mistake. Let me show you your mistake.
There were lots of
first of all, after in 6 Day War, after look. Well, one second, I will give you to speak. That's the last thing I will tell to him, okay? After 6 Day War, right? The immigration Israeli consul showed that it was between 600 to 8,000 Arabs in Israel, 800,000, and right after that it was 2.5 million, okay? And also, how you can say they were Canaanites? Okay, the Jews were the Canaanites. They are nothing. They literally came from the Arab desert. I will give them a DNA test. Let's see how Canaanites they are. They look at the last names of them. Saadi, what is Saadi? He came from Saudi. There is many Arabs live in Israel. They have Saadi, right? There is Masri. من وين مصري؟ أنت بتحكي عربي لا؟ مصري من مصر, right? In Egypt. You know that. You know that they
100% Canaanite.
And it was a war against them in Lebanon. How you can say that?
They were 100% Canaanite. They don't keep the Canaanite traditions. They don't keep the Canaanite culture.
I know, they know Jews.
But how is that relevant where they're living? I'm talking simply, they're still living in the Levant.
I show you, I literally show you they not. I literally show you they not.
Do you have numbers to show it on? Do you have numbers, like whatever statistics you have that shows how many of the Jewish people are Canaanite or actually Jewish themselves?
All the Jews are Canaanites. All the Jews are Canaanites.
Wait, Omar, the last remaining Canaanite language is Hebrew. You do know that, right?
I know. I agree with you.
Don't check DNA.
All the Jews are Canaanites.
Those seven people
did not to figure out who's Jewish.
Prior to us establishing that kingdom, were nomadic. They did not establish laws, government, kingdom there. We were the first ones to place ourselves there. That's our homeland.
I agree.
That's
Look,
not necessarily true.
There
were some kingdoms there, like small kingdoms. But the point is, you're correct. We were the first one to create an actual permanent nation state of peoples. And Omar, what defines indigenous isn't just a few things you mentioned. It's a collection of different items that peoples become an ethnic peoples to become indigenous. You can't become indigenous with just one or two of the maybe 6 things that define what is indigenous. That's just a fact of modern reality today, sir.
What? Our culture, Gigi, our culture is not Canaanite. Stop it.
No, look, some Jews, that's why I say it. Look, a lot of Jews are indigenous, but the reason why they're indigenous is because they have interrelationships between Canaanites. They also have Canaanite blood, right? Because Canaanite and Jews, they did mix.
We do not have
but
Canaanite
for example,
blood.
let me give an example.
We have Kingdom of Israel blood.
Abraham lived in the land of Canaan. So did Yaqub, Israel.
No, he didn't. He lived in he was born in Ur Kasdim.
Yeah, no, but
Iraq.
he migrated to Canaan
born in
before going to Egypt.
Yes, but it's not that Abraham didn't establish the kingdom there.
No, I understand. But at the time,
Jacob also went to Egypt and told him to bring my bones out and bring them to Israel, my home.
Mwah, beautiful.
So, guys, I'd like to speak if you don't mind.
What I'm saying is that when Abraham, okay, peace be upon him, he went to the land of Canaan. That is how they picked up the land.
Peace be upon him. Let Shlomo speak.
Our forefathers' bones are literally in Israel, for God's sakes.
All of them.
And we weren't even able to pray.
I don't think you know what this Canaanite is. Seriously, I will go to smoke. I need to relax from this shit.
The sad part that we weren't even allowed to be at our ancestors' graves. I mean, look what happened to Yaakov, Joseph's grave just recently for the third time.
But that is not a hate
entirety of the state
There's a reason why we did that.
Our Mecca.
No, please.
Honestly, our forefathers.
I want to hear Omar say. 1 second, Joe. I want to hear Omar say why was the reason that they set fire for the third time to Joseph's grave. You don't even let a dead person live or die in peace. And rest in peace. Tell us why.
Oh, I heard a guy.
So first of all,
the guy was very happy that was happening.
The shrine of Joseph. First of all, the shrine of Joseph is not the exact place that he's buried on. We know that he's buried under that
What
area.
are you doing burning down a building?
Okay, let me explain why we're burning it down. We want to break it down.
It's because they think,
break down a
to
cemetery.
guys,
What
it's
is
because they
grave
think
to
that
be
praying.
buried. We don't think that's where Muhammad was
Look,
buried. The
the
whole
re-
Arab world.
the
has come
reason
up
why
in-
we break
in
shrines.
flames.
Yeah, let me explain.
It's not
The
your
reason why
place.
we
It's not
destroy.
your property.
Let
Yeah,
Omar
go-
bury himself.
go break
let him
Mecca
talk. Let him bury himself.
Just let him
talk.
tell you the crazy bullshit. Just let.
Okay.
He will think the Canaanites are. Oh my God! Yes, speak.
No, that's why I brought him up. I want to hear everyone to hear this guy.
But please listen. He's gonna give you some crazy bullshit. I've already heard this.
No, I'm gonna say it. So the reason why we level the shrines to the ground is because Islamically it is forbidden to build on the grave. It has to be ground level. Any grave has to be ground level because when you build a shrine upon it, people start glorifying that place as this man is holy or even godly sometimes. They start worshiping this man. So therefore, Islamically, we have to level the graves to the ground as humble slaves of Allah. We level it to the ground. That
You
is
realize
simply
that this is our heritage. It's not yours.
Just a second. Islamic law, humbly, respectfully, Islamic law does not apply in this place. Get out.
So Omar, for 1,000 years, when you prayed in the cage of the patriarchs and didn't allow Jews to pray there, then the shrine was okay. And now that you took over Nablus, the shrine is no longer okay.
Look, Jerusalem not even mentioned in the Quran. Just to clarify that, I have to say that is not mentioned even one time. And if Israel mentioned, if Israel mentioned this promise to the Jews, oh, Beni Israel, go to the Al-Ard al-Muqaddasa. If you know Arabic, you should know that, Ya Umar, huh?
He doesn't belong to you. Why are you trying to protect the grave that doesn't belong to you?
Jerusalem never mentioned the Quran.
It's not your family.
What do you mean it's not family?
Answer it.
We all. Okay, hold on. What do you mean it's not our family?
Joseph is not your family. Abraham, Joseph is not your family member.
1 second.
Omar, just because you read a book doesn't mean you're related. I could read
Okay,
about
our cousin's
Elon
family.
Musk.
Listen, let me ask you. Our cousin's family.
I can read
Yes,
about
they are.
Elon Musk.
No, once your forefather committed the gravest of sins, he disconnected himself from anything to do with Judaism. Trust me.
But Omar,
Ishmaelim are not part of the Israel line. It's a separate.
No. I agree, Michael. I agree. But look,
just because you read a book doesn't mean you have anything
Joseph
to do
is a
with
son
our
of
history.
Israel. He has no connection.
I agree,
to Ishmael.
but we're talking about family. He said family. Arabs are also family of Israelites.
You don't
Yes,
get to
cousins.
destroy
Cousins
our
is considered
family graves because you.
Through Ishmael, how does Ishmael connect to Joseph?
What do you mean? They came from the same heritage. They're cousins.
Once you denied the blessing, you were disconnected forever. The covenant was not with you.
Anyone can be a Muslim. Anyone can be a Muslim. It's not even a. How are you going to say it's an ethnicity? If anyone can be a
He
Muslim.
gave the covenant to Jacob. That's it.
Also, Esther.
Completely new family from then on. You don't get to connect to the beauty of the Jewish people.
Why, when you controlled the cave of the patriarchs and Muslims pray there, it's still a mosque today. You didn't allow Jews to pray there, and that was an okay shrine. But Joseph's tomb is somehow a problematic shrine. Can you explain that?
Wait. What's your question? I didn't get it.
The cave of the patriarchs, where Abraham and Isaac are buried, and their wives, that is a mosque today, about 75%, a little more. But 80% of the building.
It's split in half. Yo, Mir, it's split in half. There's a Jewish
not
side
half.
and there's a
No,
Muslim side.
It's not half. It's over 80% Muslim and about 18%
No.
Jewish.
Now you're lying. You're lying.
No, I'm not.
It is split in half.
But that's
Both
irrelevant.
Muslims and Jews have access to the shrines of, for example,
let's pretend it's half.
Abraham.
If you count the square footage, it's not half. Let's pretend it's half. It's only half since 1967.
By protecting it, you're destroying it. That's retarded.
Stop. 1 second. Omar, even if you want to pretend it's half, that was only since 1967. For about 1,000 years, Jews were only allowed to go up to the.
You guys are backwards. Who teaches in order to preserve something, you destroy it? Who teaches that?
Wait. Let Omar
I can argue this. We are not allowed to see David's shrine. We're not allowed to go to David.
That shrine, but David has nothing to do with you. David is many years after Ishmael.
He's our prophet. He's our prophet. Okay. What do you mean?
No, David is not connected to the Ishmaelites.
Omar.
Well, I want to know if
Omar,
you call him a prophet, just like Adam.
Wait, Esther, let him answer this.
Prophesize?
One thing at a time.
And that's why they attack us, right? You attack us so that the bones underneath our bodies can be saved.
Up until 1967, Jews were not allowed into the cave of the patriarch, but that's not my point. My point is you didn't destroy that shrine. That shrine you were cool with, and you're still cool with it. It's only Joseph's tomb they have an issue with.
So explain the difference why one shrine is okay, but not
cannot,
Joseph's shrine.
I cannot justify that, right?
Okay.
Maybe,
so
okay,
you're now
hypothetically,
admitting
it
you've not
might be, look,
justified
because
destroying the shrine of Joseph, right? Because
the thing is,
let him take it back.
yeah.
If he wants.
So I cannot justify why they're only trying to level the mosque of, for example, Joseph, but not the ones of Abraham, right? That is hypocrisy, right?
I can justify it.
No, I can't. It's hypocrisy.
I can. Because Joseph's shrine is Jewish, so they're destroying it. And they took Abraham's tomb and made it into a mosque, and that the mosques are okay.
Yeah, but that is hypocrite.
What's going on here?
They are hypocrites. If that's the reason why you're doing it,
because
they're hypocrites.
Here's a hypocrite.
Because they know that Abraham is their ancestor and Joseph is not their ancestor.
Right. It's ethnic
so they're
cleansing.
revering one ancestor and desecrating a different ancestor.
Look, if they have
look at Silwan.
I'm glad that you're admitting it's not a
And you desecrate us. We're your family too, and you desecrate us with these fucking wars every fucking day.
Yeah, and look at the post I have. Silwan is built on ancient Jewish graves. You tell us how hypocritical?
You don't have to go to Silwan. There's a 7-arch hotel.
Look, I am saying the Muslims, the Arabs doing that. I'm saying the Arabs
building on top of ancient graves. How gross.
Look, Esther, listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying the Arabs doing this, if they're doing it for this reason, they are hypocrites and they're pieces of shit, all of them. They're all douchebags, okay? I agree with you. If that is the reason why they're doing it, just to get back at Jews, then that is wrong. We're not allowed to do that, right? That is completely wrong, and those who do it should be put in jail, right? All I'm saying is I cannot justify it because I don't know. Right now, I'm taking your word for it, okay? I don't know why they're doing it.
It's on the post, too. It's proof. We have all Jews have is evidence.
Try and justify it.
One thing you should know about Jews is we have records of everything. The whole Torah is a record of everything. Nothing goes without records, and Jews are the best record keepers with proof. We have receipts. Omar, I brought you up because you support the Taliban, and I want people to see and hear from you.
Yeah, look, the Taliban has always been understood. They have always been invaded by forces like America. Why? Because they thought this, what's it called? The guy who blew up the Twin Towers with the plane. I forgot his name. Osama bin Laden. Because they said Osama bin Laden was in Afghanistan. They invaded the country. And as a result, the Taliban formed to protect their country, right? And I don't see something intrinsically wrong with that. If somebody invades your country, you fight back. Now, I'm not saying I support all Talibans because even Talibans have secting groups. Just like in Afghanistan, there's also ISIS, which Talibans are fighting against. So it's very, very confusing to sometimes say, okay, Talibans are bad, right? In what sense are they bad? They fought America, they fought Russia, they fought the British, they fought entire Europe, basically, and they won. So I don't say they're bad. I don't have enough evidence.
But we don't want terrorists in our country. We don't want terrorists in our country. They're trying to overthrow or destroy us.
Way to present yourself as a leader of a country in the West usually involves a constitution, some articles describing your state and the people that affirm you as their leader. Grabbing a bunch of guns and training a bunch of people in the desert to go kill people that look like foreigners, that's not exactly
No. Terrorists. They're terrorists.
Yeah, you can't really call that's not like freedom fighters. They're not revolutionaries. They're terrorists.
Why not?
It's also not
because they didn't put in the work.
Look,
Russia's invading the Constitution. They didn't even do what the French did when they killed all of the royals. You got to actually try to build a state, and if you don't, you're just a bunch of guys with guns.
But it's also not true. The Taliban, Osama bin Laden had nothing to do with the Taliban. He was from Al Qaeda, and the Taliban just said we like terrorists. He wasn't fighting for freedom from American Afghanistan.
And Osama bin Laden hid in Pakistan. He was hiding in Pakistan too.
Yeah, one doesn't do with the other.
The thing is, they're clinging to a style of governance that made sense before World War I. But World War I happened. It doesn't make sense anymore. We have states now, and the terrorists are just basically pirates.
Correct. They're pirates. They'd rather make money stealing from others, conquering others, and destroying others than have a real, job that's honest living. You make
that
more
would
money
be the
being a thief.
Taliban and the Hamas as well. You know, that's their style. They're not setting up a state like the way America showed the world to do.
America, America is the biggest hypocrites. I mean, America is not a
Call them what you will. They were the first ones
right?
to really forge their own nation. You know, so
Yeah, but
props to
that's
them.
besides the point. Look, today we have Russia invading Ukraine, and we have freedom fighters across all parts of the world going to Ukraine to fight Russia. Now, when the same thing happened with Afghanistan, what happens with Iraq? What happened with Iraq?
Wait. You
Syria,
started that by saying that Russia invaded a sovereign nation called Ukraine. That's the beginning of that story. When America went into Iraq, it was because they invaded Kuwait, a sovereign nation. So
no. They said they had chemical weapons. That was the justification of invading Iraq.
That was the second time, yes.
So regardless, everyone knows that there was illegal invasion. We all know it was an illegal invasion. Even Bush, I think it was, he admitted it. He literally said it. His tongue spoke against him.
No, he didn't. And did America colonize Iraq, or did they take one government out and put in another one?
And you know what? To call yourselves cousins, and that's the reason why you can desecrate graves or put your types of laws or your beliefs onto us, is not the kind of cousins we need. So I'm sure everyone has people in their family that they need to stay away from. Anyone who has these beliefs that want to put their beliefs onto us, who have existing beliefs that were way before your beliefs, and to desecrate the graves of ours, are not welcome.
Okay, but the big difference here is that I think the tomb of Joseph, for example, is only for Palestinians almost, right? I think Israelis get once a year.
It's just occupied.
Yeah, but how many times a year are they allowed to visit Joseph?
No, it's
I agree.
occupied Israeli land. I mean,
but
that's obvious.
Jews, they only visit Joseph, or they only have the right to visit
because
Joseph
we don't feel
twice
safe.
a year.
Exactly, because we don't feel safe. I don't feel safe. I go to Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, and I have to go with armed guards. It's not safe. It shouldn't be that way.
Because Nablus is not safe for Jews. That's the only reason why the cave of Joseph. And there was when
Rachel and Menu also.
When the PA took it over, there was somebody murdered, Lieberman, because he tried to rescue the Torah scroll. So yeah, it's not safe for Jews to go there. It's the only reason why Jews don't pray there.
It's not because we don't want to go. It's because it's not safe.
Rachel is safe.
Yeah, but my point is, look, my point is this.
It's also
Muslims have majority control over the shrine of Joseph, whilst the one with Abraham, it is split.
And they destroy it. Isn't that funny?
No.
It's not funny.
But
they have more control in their neighborhood because it's in their neighborhood, and they destroy it.
Let him finish his thought. So the Cave of the Patriarchs is split 80-20. What's your point?
Says who? It's split 50-50.
Look at a map.
Okay.
It is not 50-50.
Can a Jew?
What do you have to do with Sarah, Isaac, Yaakov?
Wait, let him finish his
Rachel,
point.
Leah.
Because he's about to bury himself again. Finish your point, Omar.
No. I'm simply saying. Now, who controls the bigger part of the place? Okay, let's see. It's Muslims. Regardless, Jews has just as much access to it as Muslims have. Maybe not all parts.
Right. So up until 1967, when Muslims controlled Hebron, no Jews were allowed in. And then before 1948, when they allowed Jews into Hebron, they could only go up to the
what happened in the mosque? Muslims were killed inside the mosque. No, it was a massacre there, right?
Stop. Up until 1967, after 1967, when Jews controlled the area, Muslims were allowed in. surprisingly. So when Jews control
Okay,
the
but
area,
here's the
there's
point.
a split.
A Zionist
And
massacred Muslims praying, right?
a murderer went in against Israeli law, and had he survived,
in the
yes,
1990s.
Baruch Goldstein, very nice, Baruch Goldstein, he was a murderer, and he got killed on the spot, and had he survived, he'd be in prison today, just like the other 5 Jewish murderers you can name.
Yes,
me.
and
so
still,
in
but look,
80 years,
Mayor,
you found me
how many
5
people still justify his actions from the Zionist parties? How many?
How is that relevant?
Percentage-wise, 0.
How is that relevant?
Percentage-wise, 0.
No,
Literally,
it's
literally
very relevant.
rounded.
How is
to
it
0.
relevant? Are you kidding? You're going to police us when
Yes.
people kill Jews and even Christian Israelis, and they give out candy and cookies?
Look,
celebrating
was
the
in,
death?
is there one street in Israel named after him?
Why
Omar, is there one street in Israel named after him? Is there one place where he is by government glorified in any which way?
Nope.
So you're going to find me yes, Israel's a democracy. Anyone can say whatever they want. Will you find me 15 people that like what he did? I'm sure you can. Is it by any way institutionalized? How many Jews have you met that were like, yeah, I like that Baruch Goldstein guy?
Yeah, Omar, the bigger point here is that
significantly 0.
Omar, you're taking a small number of very terrible acts, and to you and in your bubble, it becomes the majority. It becomes representative. But if you want to be smarter than that, you will learn that you can't take extreme examples and make them your policy norm. You really have to find something that really does identify the greater population if you want to make a good argument, or maybe you want to change things. Just throwing that out there.
Omar, so let's look at the holistic picture.
This is the only reason why the state doesn't support that is because he's a terrorist in every possible way, in international law, in Jewish law, in everything. So that's kind of like an easy way out for you guys. But the Israeli state is the Israeli state has many leaders, political and military leaders, that called for the genocide of Arabs, that have killed Arabs, and they have no. Come on,
genocide of Arabs. What are you talking about?
For how long did you guys stand up for Ariel Sharon when he was slaughtering babies, basically, and then you talk about this is
how about the Syrian war?
This is all not true.
Each other.
It doesn't matter. What does the Syrian war has to do with anything?
Wait,
let's stick
with Hebron.
Ariel Sharon for a moment.
Yes, Arabs killing Arabs. But look out, my brother. Look, my brother. What Palestine did in 2001? I mean, in 2011, they shot 4,200 rockets to Israeli citizens.
Let's stick with one thing at a time. Let them
who's terrorist right now?
Israel has the Iron Dome. Israel has the Iron Dome.
To protect.
Thank God for that. Imagine if that dome wasn't there. What will happen to people?
Look, Palestinians do not have a military force. They do not have the same equipment.
So you know what
Israel has.
So your argument
one thing these people don't understand. One thing these Muslims don't understand. Palestinians don't understand. Israel have arsenal. Only one bomb. If Israel get mad. If we send one bomb to you guys, you all disappear. You know who is the terrorist right now here? You know,
let's take
don't play these victim cards, please.
Let's play.
It's only because
I like a playing when you lose. So, but let's stick with Hebron. Let's stick with Hebron, because in Hebron, up until 1948, Jews were not allowed into the mosque. And there are still burnt marks on the 7th step where Jews were allowed to go. So when the Muslim control, there was an ethnic cleansing. As soon as it went under Jewish control, there's a split. The majority of the building is Muslim. 10 days a year, it's only Muslim. 10 days a year, it's only Jewish. And the rest of the time, there's a split. So explain to me how you have the moral high ground here, because you found one terrorist that went into that building named Baruch Goldstein.
Look.
Is Hebron the only way? Is Hebron the only way that you are an apartheid state?
No, but Hebron is a good example of what goes on in the rest of the country, because in Nablus...
No, not really, because it's under Israeli occupation, and the
under Israeli control.
Palestinian population, the Palestinian population is under complete military control.
No,
Israel is not under occupation. Israel is the last European colonial project. All of you guys are Europeans. You are all Europeans.
How is it European or colonial? What country is it?
Let me ask you, Mayor. Let me ask you.
Nobody found anything. We know exactly where everything is.
Let me ask you. Let me ask Mir. Please, let me ask Mir. The 1948 borders are the original borders given to Israel, correct or not?
No.
Incorrect. Completely incorrect. The original Palestinian mandate includes most of Jordan. The 1948 borders is when 5 nations attacked Israel where the fighting stopped. No.
And who recognized Israel? The first country recognized Israel as a people.
Hebron is in the West Bank. Hebron belongs to the Palestinians.
Right. No.
Right?
No.
Hebron, the most ancient Jewish land.
Esther, let's get this straight.
It doesn't
Let's
belong
get this straight. Let's get this straight. Hebron is within the Palestinian mandate. Israel lost it when 5 countries attacked them and stole it from them. And Jordan occupied it up until 1967. In 1967, Jordan started a war of aggression to try to destroy Israel. They lost that war. Main reason why Israel pushed into Hebron and all the way up into the Jordan was because Iraq was going to join the war and Israel had to blow up the bridges. So Israel reclaimed their own land during a war that was meant to destroy them. And then
illegal exactly. Seven countries, 7 Muslim countries.
Why is that illegal?
7 countries.
When you get attacked by 3 countries, stop.
7 countries. 7 countries.
Stop.
Okay, but if Russia occupies Ukraine, is that illegal occupation? Yes or no?
No. If Ukraine,
yes, it is.
No, listen.
If they occupy Kiev,
stop.
Omar,
if Ukraine was to defend itself and take Russian land. After that, that's what we're talking about here. Jordan attacked Israel trying to destroy it. They lost that war. And Israel reclaimed land that was part of the original Palestinian mandate. And then, to go further, in 1981, a treaty was signed with Jordan, and Jordan gave up all claims to the West Bank. And then a new nation popped up and said, now that the land is controlled by the Jews, we want it. They never asked for it from Jordan. This was made up later. So Israel lost it in the War of 48. Reclaimed it in 1967 by an aggressive war against them, no less, and Jordan gave up all rights in 1981. This is not occupied land, only in your own fantasy.
And if you look at the record of what happened in 67, it turns out that it was Egypt that was doing a blockade.
Yes, Egypt and Iraq,
right?
And South Arabia.
Hold on, let me make my point. Let me make my point. So Egypt was doing a blockade in the south of Israel in the Strait of Tiran. You should know that legally, if one country sends all the boats to the shore of another country, it's called a blockade, and that's what we call a casus belli. That's a case of aggression. That's a reason for war.
Yes, act of war.
Number one. Number 2, Israelis sent, I don't know, every minister they could, every envoy they could to Jordan and begged Jordan, please don't intervene. Please don't go to war with don't join Egypt in the war. Please do not get involved. What did Jordan do? They got involved.
Because Egypt said history should read that you were involved in destroying the Zionist state. And Jordan fell for the propaganda and got involved.
And so you know, the irony right now, and please, you know, bring me any other example in the whole wide world in history since history began. When a country who actually doesn't want to go to war, but goes to war and win territories, it has to give it back. And mind you, there's something that really, really bothersome to me, is that between 1948 and 1967, where was Gaza? Why Gaza didn't become independent? Why when Israelis begged Egypt in 79 Camp David to take Gaza, Egypt refused? Egypt could have taken Gaza and said, no, we declare Gaza a Palestinian state. That was it. That's all they needed to do in 1979. Israel wanted to give it away. Egypt could have taken it and said, that's it. We don't care for Gaza. No, it's an independent state. They didn't do it.
All true. All true.
And then explain something, but in the history of the world, where you have a war in 48, 49, in 67, in 73, and you lose, and you lose, and you lose. And all the time you say, no, it doesn't matter. No, we're back. We want it. And just for argument's sake, two things about the what we call the Palestinian Authority. The Fatah was created in 1959. 1959, if you look at your fingers and you count, it's before 67. So what the Fatah wanted was to kick the small Israel out to sea. And the Fatah became the PLO. When was the PLO created? 1964. So now you're going to look at your finger. It's 3 years before 1967. So now all of a sudden there's this claim. It's kind of like, no. We didn't lose the war, and it's ours, and there's no history. There's no Palestinian. There's no Palestinian king. There's no Palestinian parliament. There's no Palestinian money. There's no Palestinian archaeology. There's no Palestinian nothing. But that's us, and we need to be there. And just that I happen to know one of the guy that was at Hebrew University on July 31st, 2002. His torso is completely scarred. He has something in the leg, one leg is shorter than the other, whatever. He was sitting at a table with two other people. One girl was unscathed, and the other guy died. The people who did that just got a fucking raise of 14% these past few days because they've been paid 7,000 shekels a month since that day. And not only that, they have a 300 shekel premium because they come from Jerusalem, because it was in Jerusalem. And because it's 20 years, our partner for peace, the Palestinian Authority, just wanted to raise their salary. Actually, not wanted, did raise their salary from 7,000 shekels to 8,000 shekels. Now, if you compute all that money, it means that the 4 terrorists who killed 9 people and injured more than 100 were paid $2.5 million since the day of the terrorist attack.
David, I want to break in for a second for everyone to hear. Say that is exactly how we should be talking about this. That's like a master class on how to talk about these issues. Thank you. That was awesome. Keep going.
And the last thing I want to say, thank you, Andrew. And the last thing I want to say is very simple. If you read the Jerusalem Post today, because I don't pull number out of my ass, 1.5 billion shekel every year. That's about $430 million every year being paid to the shaheeds, the family of the shaheeds, the prisoners, and what have you. And now, and I don't understand him, and I don't mean Biden. As for Biden, I don't mean Macron for Macron, is that I don't mean the guys per se. And now you have everybody, Blinken and everybody who comes to the country is like, two-state solution. We're going to have two-state solution. We're supposed to negotiate a two-state solution with people that take 8% of their annual budget to pay the killers, to pay our killers, to pay the people who killed the Israelis. And that's the people who are supposed to sit down and say, hi guys, so you want a piece of land? And when you're gonna get a piece of land, it's gonna be nice and dandy. And we're the one that are called the killers of babies and the bullshit that when the New York Times run a full page with all the name of the babies, by the way, that was going up to the age of 17, front page with all the pictures of the kids. One of them was a terrorist. Isn't that funny? It's like, guys, what? Where is fucking reality? On one hand, you have Mansour Abbas, who's at the Israeli, part of the coalition for the Israeli government. And on the other hand, you have a Shahid fund. What the fuck?
Doesn't the Israeli state pay pensions to Israeli soldiers that
fuck off.
may have killed children and civilians? Please,
I love
no.
how this.
Come on. Let's talk.
Okay, can I handle this?
Let me ask you. I'm asking you. Do you guys pay pensions to soldiers that may have killed civilians? I know you guys think that your soldiers. Yeah, you say that your soldiers.
You have a point. So let me say something.
You don't.
Your friend talked for 5 minutes, and I wait for him. So I wish that if you want to have a good. Let me have a good, let's have a good back and forth.
So, let me respond to you. Your question was, does Israel pay pensions to soldiers that may have killed children? So Israeli soldiers tried the hardest not to kill children. And then when they failed, mostly due to Hamas's interference, trying to get children killed, they do get a pension. But you want to make that equivalent.
That is BS.
You are free to fund your own army. If
you want to make that equivalent to people that intentionally try to kill children and get paid for killing the children. Your own question answer the question.
Mayor, can I just answer it quickly?
The thing is like this. The thing is like this.
Wait.
You are free to pay for your own army.
Just wait 1 second. Israel does not pay money to soldiers who intentionally kill innocent people. That's the end of the sentence.
Right.
So this is the two sides of the conflict. The Palestinian terrorists are trying to kill children, and they don't always succeed. And then you guys get to say, well, you have an iron dome to protect yourself. And Israel goes out of its way to try to protect Palestinian children.
You are also free to invest in your own Iron Dome if you would like to.
You also don't need an Iron Dome.
And their Iron Dome
no
is
one's
just
attacking
don't
your
shoot
children.
at Israel.
Can I
Nobody
jump in
wants
really
to
quick
shoot at
here?
them. Their Iron Dome is don't shoot at Israel.
But the thing is like this.
Can I jump in?
I'll tell you this.
The question was answered. Your question was answered.
Yeah, but we not having a discussion?
Palestinians refuse to wear
Is it just a
military
quick Q&A?
uniform.
Wait, let M finish this question and then let Gigi go.
Like this, and what you're saying basically is that as long as it's warfare, okay, it's allowed to you're allowed to do whatever you want. And if it's intentionally, you have wait. And
I'll say that
just because somebody
destroy Gaza if it's supposed to be that way. You don't think
you have destroyed it over and over again.
But
so
you're missing the point.
Killing Gaza
really
is better than most people in the United States.
Stop. Wait. Doesn't Israel do roof knocking? Doesn't Israel text the people in the area? Doesn't Israel try its hardest not to kill children? So it's not just
when
you could
did
do
this
whatever
start?
you want.
This started the last two wars. Come on,
We gave Gaza
Hold on.
The military actions.
Submit. Join the state. Join the future.
If Israel wants,
please give other space to speak too.
Okay, let Gigi now speak because you asked two questions. They both got answered.
All right.
Let Gigi give Gigi a moment.
Thanks. I just wanted to add that Palestinians are such fucking hypocrites. They commit some of the biggest war crimes. Their soldiers or whatever the hell they are, refuse to wear military uniforms during times of conflict intentionally so that they can later claim that they were civilians that were killed when they weren't, and they know it. They put their military bases in schools, in hospitals, in civilian homes. And then they refuse to allow people to evacuate when Israel sends thousands of flyers, makes thousands of phone calls, drops warning shells on people's roofs. They refuse to allow them to evacuate because they want their civilian deaths to go up so that they can get sympathy from the rest of the world. Tell me that that is somebody looking out for people's best interest. Tell me that that's the leadership that you want, and then tell me that Jews are to blame for that.
Wait. In what way is it the leadership that we want? It's the leadership that's forced upon us, basically.
Okay,
we haven't
so
had
take
it.
them out.
Wait.
That
Let me
sounds like
talk.
Why
Take
can't you
them
get
out.
the leadership
Leadership
from
that you
us?
think
No, now
will
you're just making bullshit
They're
up to confuse people
democratically
even more.
Let me talk.
If that
Let
was
me
true,
talk.
you guys
Well,
would be
we're
on
gonna
our
have our
side.
leadership that's gonna do what we need
Let
to
me
do.
talk.
So it'll be just the same.
Elected
If Israel
leadership
wanted to destroy
is
Gaza,
Hamas.
we could destroy Gaza in 1
When
hour.
was they elected?
Please,
When were they elected?
Hang on. You guys keep saying that Israel has all this disproportionate amount of power, and hold on, and that we want to genocide Palestinians at the same time. Only one can be true. Which one is it?
I know, seriously.
What are you saying?
Life would be easier
Repeat
if
it,
Jews did
Gigi.
want to
I
genocide the
couldn't hear.
Mods, can you please remove the anti-Semites from the chat, please?
Yeah, tell us who. I mean, there's so many of them.
Whatever LAYL is, remove
Oh
that
yeah,
person.
she's probably like, she's never been to the Middle East. She doesn't have anything to do with it.
Doesn't
but
matter.
thinks-
Just remove the anti-Semites. You don't need to keep
Okay.
them.
Lila.
JG,
Any
Liar.
Jew haters
I
should be
don't think
removed.
JG
All
is one
Jew
of them.
haters,
Gaza
remove them all.
Israel can't be wanting to commit genocide and have disproportionate amounts of power both at the same time while Palestinians are still living and existing. You need to make up your mind about which one of those is true.
Wait, let me ask you something. In the areas where Palestinians are living with Israeli citizenship, isn't there a special marker in their identification that identifies them as Arabs? Isn't there a way for Israeli
I don't think you understand how
authorities to take
Hold on.
to take away their
Stop.
guys? Come on, you never let me.
The answer is no.
They
Next
have
question.
several.
No, there
Come
isn't.
on.
How many?
The answer
Where
is no.
Where are 20% Jews living anywhere in the world? What the hell do we owe you?
Guys,
we
why
owe
do we
you
go
nothing.
into monologues whenever someone
Nothing.
asks us a question that can
We
be
owe
answered
him
yes or no?
nothing.
The answer to his question on whether Israeli citizens who are Arab, who live in Israel, if they have a special marker on their ID, the answer is no.
No,
They
Israeli
always
citizens
have.
are Israeli. Wrong.
Before it
Have you
said
ever been
what
to Israel?
religion,
Israeli
what
citizens,
religion
whether
they
Arab
have,
or not, have the
and
same identification.
and
All
nowadays
Israeli
they
citizens,
have
doesn't matter if
different
they're
markers,
Arab,
especially
Bedouin,
stars.
Jews. You're a liar. I'm getting at it. You're getting
No.
out of here.
Guy,
He's spreading propaganda.
Can
Liar.
What he's probably talking about is non-citizens that live in East Jerusalem that have different
Right, that
IDs.
have a different ID.
But
Because
Israeli
they're
citizens,
non-citizens.
Which is why I said we don't know them
Israeli
anything.
citizens do not have
That's
special
like
stars
saying
on their
Mexicans.
IDs.
How dare you give Mexicans the right to come into the United States with a different color on their ID? The United States doesn't have to give you Mexicans or any other country any right to come into the United States. No country has to give anyone the right to come into a country that's not theirs. It's got to protect its citizens. But even so, Israel allows thousands and thousands.
I love how he says that they're against the government, that they didn't elect them, and they're being oppressed, but they don't side with us in anything.
Good, then take them out, overthrow them, and put in
Right,
better
or
leadership.
partner with us so we can take them out instead of coming against us. They just come up with bullshit every time you uncover a lie. Is another bullshit lie.
And
No,
Esther,
thank
they
you.
can't rise up
want,
either. Esther,
I do not want
that's
one,
not a realistic.
I don't want one Israeli soldier inside Gaza. No, thank you.
Neither do I. No, thank you ever. It's a trap.
Half of the
Yeah,
rockets
go
that Hamas
Egypt.
shoots land back in Gaza, killing their own
It's
people.
not half. It's not even close to half.
Go invade
Okay, it's a
Egypt.
good
It's like
percentage.
14%.
Okay, I exaggerated.
Let's not forget that these people are funded by Iran, who funds Hezbollah, ISIS, which are human traffickers and crimes against humanity, rapists, all over the world.
Free Yazidis.
And also
And
think about how
Talibans.
strong
And
how
all
Taliban
strong
too.
democratically elected
think about how
leaders
strong
of
the hate is
Gaza.
that Shia Iran funds Sunni Hamas just because they both hate Jews equally. Think about how strong the hate is that Iran is funding Hamas, which they're
Get
supposed
rid
to
of
hate.
Israel.
And let's not forget pay for slay.
incentivized by
We covered that.
Iran
We covered that.
and America and other nations that give to the Palestinian cause.
They keep crying victim and then saying that we're crying victim when we counter their false narratives. It's bullshit.
Whatever.
By the way, we're totally not
nonsense.
victims, and they know it. we're total victors. That's why they all want to infiltrate.
All these Jew haters, they're the very definition of the Satan. They go in, they confuse you into thinking that you're the perpetrator and that they're not.
Bro, you keep saying Jew haters, but Jews themselves hate Arabs as well. I mean, let's not play.
No, we don't.
We hate you because you hate us.
Yes, but look, the hate is mutual. Don't just say, okay, Arabs hate Jews.
We hate you because you want to kill us. Otherwise, we'd love
we
you.
hate you because you want to kill us. Look, it's like
No, we don't.
You started, you fucking dumbass.
What do you think we want from Arabs? What do you think you can give us that we want to destroy?
Keep it simple.
We just want peace.
Omar, wait. I'll make you a deal.
Me too. We also want peace.
No, you want our land.
No, we want to not to be displaced.
You want a world without Jews.
No, look.
Omar.
You want us gone. You have nothing that we want from you.
Wait, Esther, let him talk. Omar, what exactly do you want for full
Okay,
peace?
I said this before. Look, yesterday I was talking, and some of the Muslim guys in the chat, they went off on me. They started calling me Zionist.